One, two, three, we are here. Wonderful. Hello there, ladies, gentlemen, and unicorns, and welcome to another Pixel Prophecy Technical Difficulties Fest Galore 2025. It's still, all I meant to say was congratulations, Frank, on winning the pop quiz, and Balimaar coming in as a very strong second. And the only reason Frank is in front of you is because he has more questions overall answered correctly, but 92% ratio answered correctly. That is quite impressive, especially with a new set of questions. And Lady Mistleaf completes the podium, coming in third. Hello, everyone. I hope you can hear me. Yes, so that familiar voice returns, says Cursey Boo. Thank you all. And welcome to another edition of Pixel Prophecy Plays Your Ludum Dare games. I think we're at Ludum Dare 58 now, so this is quite something. And I try to keep the banter here in the beginning to a minimum because, as we know, Balimaar is here, and they come from Malent down under, I think. So, and I think Balimaar, I'm not sure how much time you have or what time of day it is. Early wee hours on Monday morning, I would presume. So I hope I can, keep the distractions to minimum. Balimaar says, I also missed a few answers because of minor lag at one point, but no for that, it's even more impressive. I'm wide awake, so all is well. Okay, it's 5:45 a.m. on Monday. In that case already, I wish you a wonderful week. I hope it's not too stressful or too taxing. And what better way to start a week with some weirdo on the internet playing your jam game. Right on. Let me switch over. Of course, always the unicorns are here in charge of the chat, but we can't see this yet because I just switched the view. Lady Misleaf says, check your quiz. You have a duplicate in there and they both had a different end commentary. So it would assume you don't realize the question was already in the list. Oh, which one? Because I already took out the Pong question because we had this twice in, but thank you for letting me know. I mean, there is a set of trivias for every question. So I think I have 3 or 4 different trivias at the end of each question so that they don't repeat as often. Dwarf Fortress. Thank you. Dwarf Fortress. Of course, I have to type it correctly. Okay, what motto is associated with Dwarf Fortress and what motto is associated with Dwarf Fortress? Well, apparently I was very fond of Dwarf Fortress then. Thank you so much. Now it's taken care of. Thank you for letting me know, because I thought the Pong game was twice there. I don't know why suddenly I decided to duplicate questions. Anyway, Balimaar said, yeah, we had 2 strike the earth answers. Well, that settles it, I hope. Thank you for bringing this to my attention. And the individuals responsible to this have been sacked. Thank you so much. Right, so let's start the RNG. And hopefully it launches in the wrong window, but still here we are. And yeah, also last time I said I'm defeats the purpose I'm using the RNG 3000 for, when most of the time now I'm selecting a certain game of someone who's present here in the chat, and then I just keep re-rolling until the game comes up that I want to play. So Kirsty said probably should add something like check boxes of only the games whose creators are currently present, so that they're pooled together. And that's a very good idea. I didn't get to it this week to work on it, but so hopefully, InkDeo21, if you're here. There was something wrong because InkDeo21's game is not a random string of numbers. Something must have gone wrong there, and it's probably on my end. So I have to sort through what the problem actually was. But let me switch over to the patrons and go sequential. And there we have the Cupcake Collector. Oh, yeah, in the chat, you should know that water can only be mined in its frozen form. Or are we talking about... Oh, yeah, Balimaar said, I will always remember accidentally flooding my first Dwarven fortress by mining in Aquifer. See, this is why I'm not playing Dwarf Fortress anymore, because I don't know how to pronounce Aquifer. I always want to say Aquifer, and yeah, So tiles with water in them. I've learned this also the hard way. It's a little bit like with Minecraft, right? Never dig straight down, never dig straight up. The good old inadvertent flooding. Technical difficulties just make the stream more dynamic. Okay, good. I hope it's not too distracting my difficulties, but again, thank you. I bet in German it's called ein Aquifer. I don't know in German. I don't actually know what this is, but probably, I mean, the article might be correct. You know what? Let me quickly check what it's called in German. Oh, it's actually a term, Grundwasserleiter. That's the German word. Of course, the German word is nothing even remotely. I mean, aqua is water, but yeah, here we have Grundwasserleiter means something that conducts the water in the ground. So this makes sense. So ein Aquifer. Okay, that's... I mean, this is the AI overview, so we can't trust this one either. Anyway, sorry for getting distracted. Cupcake Collector, a game by Frank and Balimaar. And they said our artist and musician had to drop out. Oh no, so we're using pre-existing free assets this time. All good. As always, focus on what you know best and what you can do best. And again, it's especially in a jam, unless you really want to push yourself and your pain points in a more masochistic fashion, is always focus on the things that you can do best and just double down on those. Saturday, they say, might also work for... Oh, it's early stream. We'll see. Balimaar is in Australia, of course, and so that might also interfere with both. We want to be there, and here you are. And again, sorry for getting a little bit distracted in the beginning. You know me, but hopefully it wasn't as bad as it usually is. Oh, look at this. I mean, I kind of like it. It's a cupcake, and is this... What is this? Is this a mean-looking bug? Oh, never mind. What I see here, I like it. Welcome to Cupcake Collector. The first sections of this page were rewritten just for Pixel Prophecy and their community. We know they share our sense of humor. Teehee. Okay, there we go. Let me prepare myself for it. Here we go. A sugar-coated crusade where one brave and deserted hero faces their sweetest challenge yet. No sword, no shield, just a bunch of bravery and a serious sweet tooth. I give you that one. You've been handpicked for a mission of confection perfection. Gather every cupcake in sight and prove yourself in the great pastry trials. Piece of cake, right? Well, better brace yourself, because things are about to get frosting serious. The local candy-flinging spiders, oh, those are spiders with just half of their legs then, have decided to web you into their latest flavor experiment. Their aim, impeccably accurate. Their ammo, sticky, icky globs of sugary doom that'll leave you slower than caramel on cold toast. Get hit and you'll be jammed up faster than a donut at brunch. Is this a pun? No, it's a simile. It's an analogy. No badumts for that one. It's truly the icing on the fright. So grab your courage and maybe a napkin. Do I have napkins? I have unicorns. I can wipe my face off in a sparkling white unicorn, and prepare to whisk it all. You'll have to dodge, dash, and devour your way through increasingly chaotic levels full of cupcakes, keys, and 8-legged bakers who are really into unconfectional combat. You'll need 2 keys to unlock the exit and every last cupcake to earn your baker's badge of honor. Miss one and it's back to the mixing bowl. As the levels rise, so do the stakes. Medium rare, extra crispy, or sugar-coated for perfection. Steaks. I get it. Can you stay light on your loafers? Or will you end up in a sticky bundle of trouble? Only one way to find out. Proof once and for all. You don't need a sword when you've got a sweet tooth. Thank you. Oh my god. I think this is the most pun laden description I've read from you. There must be at least a baker's dozen of puns in them. There you go. About the game, Cupcake Collector is a sugar. Oh, didn't we just? Yeah, we just been there. A note on our game assets. Originally, our team included a dedicated graphics and sound wizard, but real life had other plans when they had to step away before being able to complete any part of their usual supreme wizardry. The two of us carried on, frosting smeared but determined to finish the game. As a result, most of the visuals and audio come from carefully selected third-party assets under appropriate licenses, with the exception of the two dev recorded voice lines you'll hear in game. What was going on with my accent there? We focused our remaining time on level design, gameplay polish, always good call, and making sure the whole experience still felt cohesive and fun. Oh, you have even a list of assets. Oh, Kenny, good old Kenny, always good. So, WAD for movement. Is this a Doom thing? Yeah, I get it. Shift to dash, space jumps in case you prefer that instead of W. Okay, good. Oh, controller support tested on Windows 11 with a wired Xbox controller. Let me fetch my Xbox controller and there it is, the associated wire. But the place where I usually plug it in is for some reason now blocked by the webcam, which we might want to keep for now. So I will just try to stick it in the small hub. It's also powering the Stream Deck, so hopefully it's not fizzling out. But no, okay, I got a glowing Xbox sign, so we should be fine. We should be fine. So, what else have I missed in the chat? Frank says, oh, hang on, I didn't notice this rewrite. Oh, you didn't know that there was a rewrite? Oh my god. Was the jammed a throwback to Spaceballs? Good question. Oh, I think this is probably one of my favorite slow motion sequences in all of science fiction, is the big jar of jam hitting the radar. Where I think, was it Michael Winslow? The funny sounds, mouth sounds guy from Police Academy said they jammed our radar. Yeah, Spaceballs. Good thing. Frank says, I'd argue that one of these puns are as bad. That none of these puns are as bad as the one I put in the end text. Oh dear. Kersey is all for puns. And Lady Mischief says, that was a lovely description. Indeed, I absolutely agree with that. And applause, indeed, applause for wonderful punny writing. Balimaar says, it's supported but not perfected. Okay, good. So this is usually how my games go in terms of fun. It's supported but not perfected. Frank says, also tested on Linux. Oh, with my Thrustmaster controller, it worked, but I didn't. I'm not good with controllers. Okay. But I mean, in the end, it's always good if you have something that you can put blame on. And so it's not the keyboard, it's probably the controller then. It can't be me. It can't be me. Heads up, if your operating system detects another device like a joystick, steering wheel, or even certain USB devices as a controller before the actual gamepad, it can cause some in-game controls to stop working properly. Yeah, I've had this with emulator gamepads. The fix, unplug any other devices your OS might be misidentifying as a controller, then plug in your game controller. This should restore full functionality. Left stick character movement, A button jump. Words from the dev team. Geva or Heva, the programmer says, I'm quite happy with what we've achieved. Of course, I'd have preferred to present 100% home-built effort, but since that wasn't really possible this time, I'm happy there is such a vibrant community of artists and musicians who are willing to let people use their work under very free license terms. So many thanks to them. Indeed, also for me, many thanks to all the people who make things like, for example, open game art even possible, especially during jams. I think once we got into the new adjusted rhythm, it had selected one of Kenny's very nice tile sets, not to disparage the sound people, but we chose graphics first, as usually it happens. We did manage to produce a reasonably polished game that's at least as good as our last effort. Oh wow, congratulations. Balimaar, the programmer, says, I had a very productive first day, once again enjoying the rare joy of time zones working for me instead of against me. It meant I could work a solid 12-hour stretch, hand things off to my teammate for their 12 hours, and we'd both get some decent sleep in between. Indeed, Frank, as you said, as you posted this excerpt from this Terry Pratchett novel of the guy being married for many years to his wife, and they never really spoke to each other apart from just leaving memos because they're also live in different time zones. I mean, they live in the same place, but different. You know what I mean. While I caught some rest after that first push, our audio and graphics guru unfortunately had to step away due to unforeseen circumstances. This, I think, is a nod to Half-Life, right? We completely understood, but it left just the two of us to pick up the frosting bag and keep the project on track. So Heva and I quickly switched gears, finding creative ways to fill the gaps with the tools and assets we had available. Then, toward the end of my second shift, disaster struck. Godot suddenly decided that every single scene depended on scenes it claimed it didn't exist, even though they were right there. Clicking fix dependencies, I love it that there's fixed dependencies, which did absolutely nothing. Thanks, Godot. Thankfully, Frank swooped in with some text file surgery magic after I'd exhausted every possible fix, saving around 12 hours of work in the process. Seriously, MVP movement right there. Yeah, I know exactly what you're talking about. I've had a similar experience with DaVinci Resolve a couple of years back, where all you could do is export the project from the MySQL database, serialize it, and then look at the generated XML and just manually fix UIDs, you know, the unique identifiers. Boy, this was no fun. So yeah, congratulations on fixing it. So from that point on, it was smooth sailing, or as smooth as level design can ever be when you're still learning it on the fly. Despite this probably being my most stressful Ludum Dare to date, oh, I'm sorry, I'm genuinely proud of what we've pulled together under pressure. Here's to learning, laughing, and leveling up. Bring on Ludum Dare 59. And I say cheers. Wonderful that you also have here your dev team words here, this little micro post-mortem at the end. Always nice to learn a bit more about the game and how it was made, especially. So what have I missed in the chat? This year the controller should also work for the menus. Oh, you're leveling up. Lady Misliff said, I just started on Godot. I'm scared now. Yeah, same for me. I mean, what I've been doing with Godot so far is only walking simulator things that look like PlayStation 1 graphics. So that's it for me. Frank says, basically when using packed scene references, don't accidentally cause loops. Okay, cheers to that. Don't cross the streams, don't cause loops. Frank says our levels had references to the next level, and of course to make a new level you start by copying an existing one, and if you're not careful you can get loops. It sounds familiar because I've had something with using statements in Pascal. So when one file is using the other file and the first file is using the second file, of course you get this good old infinite loop with dependencies. Ah, classic. So I'm glad that you managed to resolve this. And this one is just called LD58 Windows. Let's make sure that the music currently playing wasn't playing, which I switch off anyway because I've heard there might be audio. I'm not sure if there is, but I'm still putting on my headphones just to be safe. Balimaar says, yeah, if you accidentally save before updating the exit door in our game, it creates a loop that somehow crashes a missing dependency. Oh dear. Yeah, dependencies, exactly. The bane of all our existences, that and off by one errors. Good ones. Frank, didn't you post the first off by one error with some ancient calendar or something? I vaguely recall this, that I've heard this somewhere. So this is not what I wanted to show because this is the pixel quiz. So here we go. Look at this. It has an icon. Already, you're already not an F anymore. Should I grade this on the school grading system? So you're already positive. Let's just see how far up the ladder this will go. And here we go. Okay, can I do this full screen? And yes, I can. And it has a menu. And I've heard, look at this. It works on the menu. This is wonderful. Okay, settings. Music volume. I very much like it when you find in a Ludum Dare game the time to put in something like a menu, and even it's controller controlled. So collect cupcakes, encounter creatures that will throw sticky candy. If you get too sticky, you won't be able to continue. You might need keys. Okay. I had to read this again because I was just so focused on identifying all the puns correctly. Right, so I move the mouse pointer slightly out of... Oh, this is not mine. That's not mine. Oh, I love this. Okay, good. So, and does it say here cupcake spelled out in cupcakes? This is adorable. So I'm not hearing any sound. Can this be, or is it me who's not hearing audio? Oh, very faint. Oh, of course, I know what's happening. Yeah, I turned down the volume knob because I was quickly trying to tidy things up here. And sometimes this happens, and then I increased the volume to 11. And of course, then I really realized that, yeah, the volume knob was turned down, and then I put it on, and yeah, hands need a changing after that if it's suddenly too loud. Okay, let's start. Okay, and I already missed a cupcake. So dashing is exactly where I would have wanted to dash, but can I restart the level? Give up, retry level. Okay, this is very cool that I can retry the level. Sadly, apparently, I was... Oh, okay, I can... Apparently, I can jump upright again. Never mind then. Never mind. Okay, the jumping is somewhat I need to get used to in terms of air control. What am I doing wrong? Nothing. Nothing. So how can I get up there? Probably through dashing from the top, right? Or just jumping and dashing? Or am I not getting it? You can also multi-jump. Oh, I can multi-jump. Thank you so much. Wasn't this also someone who had a similar problem? Oh no, I got sticky. There we go. Okay, good. Thank you for pointing out the multi-jump. This helps a lot. Is this a throwback level to Braid? Oh, sneaky. You hit cupcakes here behind the cloud. Oh no, I dashed right into the swirl. Oh, what is there? Is this a secret? Or unintentional? Okay, I had one of the voice lines, and here it's spelled out yum. I missed the voice line again, but we were very likely to hear it again. Oh, I'm not sure that I collected everything. Look at this. This is so what's the word? It feels a little bit nostalgic. It's a bit like coming home to a good old 16-bit platformer, where of course there are secrets. Oh god, what is happening? I just want to get up there. There we go. Okay, good. I cupped that cake. Good. Oh. Is this... Oh, okay. So this is where the exit is. So... Oh, wow. Okay. This looks dangerous. Some would say perilous. But I think I caught them all now. Oh no! Wait, is this poop down there? Let me check. It kind of looks like poop. And I only have one heart left. This is not good. Okay, I'm getting used to it, I have to say. Also, the music selection works very well for this candy-themed game. Okay, what does it say here? Cup. Okay. Yeah, the multi-jump is very handy. I always love it when games give you this multi-jump feature. Because, I don't know, it makes platforming even more fun. Because what are you doing in a platformer? Well, jumping most of the time, right? And if you can do more of that, it's even more fun. Anything up there? No. Oh no. There we go. I think I collected them all, right? Okay, could also be coffee frosting. Good. So I think it's chocolate frosting and not poop. Right. So Balimaar says, ugh. Frank says we should probably have made a gap, that gap too wide. Oh, the one that I wanted to drop into, right? It's not a barrier I placed to prevent the spiders attacking you at the start. Okay, good to know. It's supposed to be a chocolate icing. Yeah. I feel very jumpy here. No limits on air jumps. Oh! It's Flappy Cake. This is a nice way of... Oh dear. Oh. Oh. Yeah, I probably have to retry this one. Oh, different music then. So, already in a sticky situation. Caught in a sticky situation. Oh, this can't be that hard. Can it? Just need to be quick. Be quick, don't stick. There we go. See? That wasn't too hard. Pro moves right there. I really like it that you can that you said unlimited air jumps. I just need to time it correctly. There we go. That I'm a little bit faster than their attacks. This is a fun level. Oh no! There we go. I think I caught them all. There it says cake. Oh, I love it. This is Mario Great Secrets there, because I see there might be access to this Cupcake collection from below. So let's see if I manage to get there. I like it that they attack in arcs and I'm jumping right into them. There we go. See this? That's fun. Did I miss something? I hope I didn't miss anything. Let's better be safe than sorry. Oh yeah. Restarting then. I mean now we know that. Okay, so I didn't miss anything on this side then. Good. And even there you had the guidance there of the what was it, the popsicle sticks here to let me know where it would be most the best place to jump. I really like this kind of subtle nudging. Cool. Thank you so much for playing our game. It was a huge journey for us and we hope you had fun with our creation. Is this a heart? It is. It is. Apparently I missed 3 cupcakes. Did I? Wonderful. You passed the test. You survived many sticky situations with your candy attitude, and you are now a journeyman cupcake collector. Thank you for playing. You collected 147 cupcakes out of 147. Surely a new record. Okay, I thought it was a flat 150. Very cool. Hey, this was fun. This was a lot of fun. Thank you so much. Let's have a look at the credits again. Frank and Named Moose, of course, you had your trusty Named Moose at your side, and Balimaar. 4.4.1 stable. Was it that stable? Well, of course, if you cajole it into an endless loop, then of course, probably it wasn't that stable. At least it didn't crash. Cool credits, play. I think I've seen everything. Thank you so much. It had music. It had funny jumping, and again, I very much enjoyed the level that didn't cap your multi-jumps in the air. Thank you. So what have I missed? I love my pitch-shifted voice when you get too sticky. Yeah, pitch shifting is always, I think also doesn't Commander Stitch do this to his games where he just records himself and pitch shifts it at various levels. It's instant funny. It's like you pour pitch shifting over a line and it becomes instantly chipmunky funny. This one was Frank's idea. It just looks like restarting this level skips ahead in the music playlist. I think this is all fine with me, but yeah, testing. I found another bug. Okay, Frank can confirm does confirm this. Cursor says this was a sweet platformer. Indeed, I have to agree. Okay, it's not a round number, no. One question. Did you manually count the cupcakes, or does the game just tally up all the cupcakes there are for the ending screen? So you didn't have to make sure that all of you place enough cupcakes, or that in the end the number is achievable. We did have a thought of rounding it to 150 after we did the submission. I mean, surely there would have been place for 3 more, but then again, it's all good. I mean, you could have made it 158 then we had the Ludum. Yeah, it's whatever number you pick. There's always a better, a different number, a more fitting number. And I can already see that this probably, holds up the team. A bit like with Max and I when we were stopping everything and just brainstorm for finding the perfect team name. And then we went, as you know, with S&M Productions, which took us way too long. And yeah, you know how it goes. Lady Miss Liv says, a good job, gentlemen. This looks like a great game. Indeed. By the way, I should drink more crystal tea. So good. Frank says, we didn't spend time on matching music tracks to levels, so I figured changing tracks on every level start was fine. Indeed it was. I just thought that it was a curated list of, again, where you poured over the list of tracks and the list of levels, and for like 2 hours you said, please, nobody disturb me, I have to figure this out, and then match and pair up the music track to where it fits best with the level. Frank says the game counts cupcakes in the levels you go through. Okay, so it's not something again that you have to make sure, because I think one of my first games where I also tried to do one of my basic games, I don't think it has survived, and you were collecting asterisks and with Mario, and it was also I wanted that. I mean, it was all text and ASCII characters, and I think you had really to move the mouse or the current carré with the keys over it and collect it. And you also had, I don't know how many it was, like 50 or something. And of course I miscounted myself because I didn't, everything was placed by hand, and everything even was an if check. So it was not like, it was if the carré is at position X and position Y, then, and you hit enter, then you get the asterisk collected. by the way, also this worked multiple times. You just, if you find one spot and then hit enter, the game doesn't know that you already collected it. Yeah, it was a different time back then. I've been slightly grown as a programmer, just slightly. Anyway, yeah, it is fine. And Game Smart says hex to start. Frank says, I mean, you have to make sure all cupcakes are reachable and you didn't accidentally copy paste one inside a wall or something. Yeah, that is true. That is true. I mean, I've noticed the ones that you hid behind the clouds, right? So this was a nice touch. But of course, yeah, if not all of them are achievable, then yeah, again, probably people would. I mean, it would incentivize perhaps speed runs or glitch runs or whatever, just so that you can get this one cupcake that developer in frenzy to finish things up had just placed inside a wall or inside a collider, and then the speed running scene would spend 20 years to somehow glitch there and collect that one cupcake. Balimaar says, or outside the wall. Yeah, not that we ever did that ever. Of course, it never happens. You're way too ahead of these kind of beginners' mistakes, right? Frank says, which may or may not have happened before release. I mean, hey, if it happens before release, it stays before release. You know what I mean? If you didn't release it like that, no one will know. I mean, even if you release something and no one really peeks open the hood and can look at the source code and only sees chewing gum, duct tape, and paper clips just trying shortening certain circuits. Hey, if it works, it works. And if it works under very certain conditions, condition being my machine that I developed this on, hey, it's all good for the most part. Never ever. So, right? Never. What happened in pre-release stays in pre-release. Yeah, exactly. Thank you for putting it much better than this. Yeah, what happens there stays there. Also, what happens in the source code, or please don't uncompile. just don't follow the pointers, please. Just leave the stack as it is. Don't see what's actually going on there. Yeah, thank you so much for submitting Cupcake Collector. And really, for some reason I have a sweet spot for these kinds of candy themed games. I don't know why. Probably because then I feel like somehow subliminally influenced to just figure out where I can get the next cupcake myself. I mean, I spend like 2% of my brain CPU cycles thinking of, provided I want a cupcake right now, at this point in time, at this place where I'm right now, where can I get a cupcake? And I think, I mean, it's 10 minutes to 10. So a couple of towns over, there is a McDonald's, and probably there I would be able to score a cupcake. Well, that's maybe for tomorrow. Thanks for playing. Or Frank said our code was actually mostly tidy this time around. I think from playing it, I think it shows, because it, like I said, it had comfort features like a title menu and option screens, and even a how to play section. So very, very nice, I think, because usually when your code is a mess, you just try to wrap, to join up the ends that they go together somehow. So congratulations on pulling this off as a team programming project. Always something that, as I wanted to say, if there's more than one person involved, things can get hairy, but we all know, even if there's just one person involved, even if there's zero people involved, when you just think about making a game, you know where things might go, might derail. Frank says, we actually deleted code for features we decided to drop and everything. Oh, this is so professional. Balimaar said, we also had a gun in the early days of this game, and then we still weren't sure of exact genre. Yeah, it's not a run and gun. It's what would be a nice punny way of saying it's a game about sweets, but also about shooting. I can't think of one, but I have a feeling that there's a pun somewhere in there. Right, Kirsty says, great idea, Eula, to not disassemble, but not because out of proprietary code, just because of you're embarrassed. That's when some people ask me, hey, can you make this open source or whatever you did? And I said, technically, yes. but on the shame level would be too high. And I think with Scully, my retro text editor, that some of you might remember, which I don't even have installed anymore. Shame on me. I released that one under a facepalm license, I think it was called. The only thing is that please don't facepalm yourself into a concussion when you're looking at my code. So yeah, for me, it's mostly if I want to release something, I don't want to look like an absolute idiot, and I also want to comment things and explain things. I think one of my comments is, this is the magic formula. Do not change. It works. I don't know why it works anymore. Just don't change it. And yeah, and when it comes to programming, I also realized the only thing that is worse than it does, I genuinely don't know why this is not working. Everything there, it's not working. And I thought this was the hardest bug to figure out. But the hardest kind of bug to figure out is the opposite. I don't know why it's working. This should not work. Code clearly says this can't work, but it is working. Don't know why. And because, of course, if you don't figure this out and you just say, I just leave it in, then you're inviting a whole swath of upcoming bugs that are related to this impossible problem of code running that shouldn't run or shouldn't function. Because then everything's off the table then, or on the table of things that can go wrong. Anyway, that's really what most anti-looking EULAs are about. Indeed, right? Actually, it's about embarrassment. Frank says, Balimaar said, but decided to get rid of it because guns don't fit our nice cane. I agree. Also, I very much like the design decision that it was all about jumping. The level where there were no penalties for or where you could jump as often as you liked during in-flight. This was the most fun level, and I think with shooting, then of course it becomes more about positioning. And right now, the fun is in jumping and maneuvering around obstacles. And I think a gun would have changed this up. Also, it probably wouldn't have fit the tonality. Indeed, the gun has hot tea to melt the icing. Okay, in that case, if that would fit. I kind of like this. And what else? Oh, Lilo has a t-shirt about that. About what? The programming computer science t-shirt. States of debugging. Okay. 6 stages of debugging. Let me bring that to your attention as well. So, that can't happen. That doesn't happen on my machine. That shouldn't happen. Why does that happen? Oh, I see. How did that ever work? It's so true. And it's even presented here in the form of a cute little flowchart. Probably we should have one box that says, oh, it's working perfectly now, but it doesn't have either an input or an output. Oh, thank you for sharing. That's funny. Not the exact t-shirt, but okay, the same steps. Automated Unicorn, don't tune a 5 1/4 inch floppy disk. Those things are expensive. I already, I think, told you the story that this year I ordered some old floppy disks, some pristine 5 1/4 inch floppy disks, and even the good old 8-inch floppy disks, which look like the 5 1/4 inch floppy disks. It's just 8 inches. They're huge. And those theoretically, or at least they weren't advertised as working, but I still got some. And why, you might ask? I cannot tell you. I just want to have them. They're mine now. And also probably they aren't getting any cheaper. And again, I'm running Commodore machines down there. I should power them up. The last time I checked was 2 years ago. Anyway, and maybe I want to store something on a good old floppy diskette. Who knows? And now I have a couple of them before. I mean, the thing, like I said, they aren't getting any cheaper. So I think I should be set for life now. So whenever, I don't know, in 2058, when Geezer Phil is out there trying to get a meal, I will trade it for one pristine 5 1/4 inch floppy disk for some, I don't know, toilet paper. Frank says, of course, there's also a case where code just works fine, and then you read it and find a bug, and then without redeploying or anything like that, it stops working. Indeed. Oh, hey, Commander Stitch, welcome. Lady Mistlip said, I still have a small stack of 3.5-inch diskettes, and I'm still to this day annoyed that I cannot use them on my new machines. I also have some of those bad boys handy. And also one thing that I bought very early on is a 3.5-quarter-inch floppy drive with a USB plug there. And I think it's USB 1. But yeah, I mean, the reading speed is so slow on these ones that, I think USB 1 is still fine for them. Annoyed. Okay, yeah, that's the word. And heck, my two newest machines don't even have a ZD drive. Yeah, that's the thing. When I was building my computer, again, the video is not finished, but in the upcoming video of building my new PC, which is already not that new anymore, I also said this is probably the last tower that comes, or the case that comes with a slot for an optical drive. And of course, my Blu-ray and HD DVD capable device goes in there. But it's not at the top anymore, it's at the very bottom. So they really try to phase it out somehow. So hopefully, should this machine at some point become obsolete, I can find a way to still get my Blu-ray drive in there. Because yeah, I'm of one of these old people who thinks, you know what, it's nice and dandy that I can find all the shows that I want to watch on the streamers, but you know what, it's always the best is to have it on a disc at home. I'm not even talking about a good old magnetic tape. It should be on a disc, ideally a Blu-ray, because then I think many of us have noticed this. It's super hard to get, when you like a show on Netflix, to get it on Blu-ray or something, because no one has a Blu-ray drive or playback machine for this anymore, because it's so much more comfortable to just stream it. The only downside is you never have the things. If you want to rewatch a Netflix documentary you saw like 5 years ago, chances are it's not on Netflix anymore. And it's effectively gone. And again, this is why I try to find all the shows that I enjoyed a lot as a kid or in my formative years and just possess them. They're mine now. I think you notice a pattern. And my latest addition to this is, of course, this beautiful full set of Knight Rider. It's all 4 seasons, and I've been watching it daily now. This is when I come home from work. I watch one episode of Knight Rider. And you know what? Let me take you down this particular rabbit hole of mine, which is... for some reason, I thought, you know what, maybe at some point I want to, I don't know, make another fan game for Knight Rider. And wouldn't it be nice to have a clear understanding, something like a show Bible, or what are kids' capabilities, or things that happen in the show, or sounds kids makes at certain points. And for one thing is I started taking screenshots. Here in my inspirations, where do we have it? Movies and TV series, Knight Rider, and there I have show stills. And I have sorted them because I have this idea of making a somewhat cozy game, wholesome game, where essentially you can walk through certain sets in certain media, like, I don't know, the Bridge of the Enterprise or something, or in this case, Devon's office, as PlayStation 1 graphics. Essentially, it's just a walking simulator where you can look around the space yourself and look at things. And for that, I thought, you know what, maybe I take some images of Devon's office where I can just parse and try to figure out what is actually here in the background. How are things arranged? What painting is this? Is this a fig tree? I need info. That's one thing. Then, of course, for Kit, this is a car that I kind of liked as a kid. This doesn't get a, but this is very bad. But some of those shots are amazing that are in there. For example, like here at downtown Los Angeles at night in the 80s. This has really some what's the word? Vaporwave music, like a playlist that you would hear on YouTube, where this thing just drives into infinity. And yeah, this is one part of it. For example, here for Kit's interior, I think this is probably the most telling. I have it, of course, all the close-up shots, because as a kid I was obsessed with this cockpit, and finally I have it in in HD, so I take plenty of screenshots. And for example, if you're interested in the wheel buttons on the left-hand side, yes, I figured out which ones are on the left-hand side and where they are and the different shots and so on. Because again, I'm a little bit of an obsessed fanboy with this. And you know what's worse about this? It doesn't stop there. Let me show you a document that I started compiling. Oh dear. That maybe at some point I need to donate, I don't know, maybe to the Knight Rider wiki, because at some point I thought, you know what, maybe again for a fan game, maybe I just need some names that I can plop in there as Easter eggs that people might recognize. And then I realized, you know what, maybe I should be a bit more thorough about this one. So at episode 11, I started, okay, all the names and places that there are. The Bent Arm is the bar or the Buckaroo Club. And you see here starting what's going on here. We're starting with timestamps in the episodes. And yeah, it goes only on from there. Michael's love interests, Kit's capabilities. And for example, then it has become some sort of pointless exercise in cataloging. But for some reason, I thought, you know what, again, if you make a game about this at some point, who knows, wouldn't it be nice to know, okay, can Kit do this, what I need for the game? Or is there maybe some inspiration that I can take from this, like ejecting front seats? Okay, how does this look if I need reference? Well, here in season 1, episode 8 at 40 minutes and 2 seconds, we see this also at season 1, episode 11, and yeah, you get the idea. What Kit has a bulletproof chassis, so what happens to it? Do we see sparks flying and these kinds of things? Kit is able to intercept phone calls. Kit can use rocket fire to cause a rock slide, but in season 1, episode 15, it's used to jump and not the turbo boost, and so on. So yeah, then things Kit does, like jump onto a truck, over a vehicle, over a fence, over an oncoming vehicle, across a ravine, through a garage door. Or we have it, use turbo boost for speed, use turbo boost for jumping. You see what this is all about. And then of course we have the display, the things that Kit displays. And again, it's also very corny 1980s motion graphics or very stilted motion design and so on. It's kind of fun. And of course, miscellaneous observations, and then of course we have sound effects, because this is another big thing. Things Kit that can damage Kit, then some continuity errors that are kind of fun that I've picked up, some episodes that I liked in the overall structure of an episode. Yeah, and as for the screens, let me just quickly show you the screens and computers. And yes, this is an actual screenshot from the show, where I think this is just, what's it called, race car or pole position or something on the Atari, well, not the Atari, the Mattel in television. And in one episode, the actual footage from the game was used as Kit is showing there's a black sedan trying to escape through the narrow alleyways. Michael, we should follow him. And then they show footage of this game. And yeah, this is no gray 1978 sedan. And or something like this, very dark view. Then these super cute motion graphics there. Then that's the weirdest thing. It's a close-up of one of Kit's readouts of the security alert. I don't know why. Look at this. Isn't this beautiful for I think this was motion graphics in 1981. State of the art. Then we have, for some reason, Bonnie. But yeah, isn't this cute? Or look at this wonderful picture of Michael. I can only assume that it wasn't easy getting this on there, or we probably even need to have an artist to draw this. Again, 81, probably not that simple. Anyway, so this has been one of my pastimes. Is I'm watching Knight Rider with the finger hovering an inch over the screenshot key, and also the pause button that I can take notes of what is currently happening. Yes, I call this relaxation time. Anyway, where was I? Then, of course, I have to scroll up. Balimaar says, I miss the sound of floppy disk being read in my old Commodore. Oh yes, the when the head is bouncing off. Hexosart says, I only have a floppy disk copy of the first game I ever made, and it's corrupted. Oh no, I'm so sorry. Oh, this sucks. I hope, do you have backups? Probably not. I mean, if your first game is on a floppy disk. Yeah, if you can, just copy everything that you have. I have so many things on optical media because I started doing archival discs, and it was just burning on the cheapest blank CDs I had back in the time. And even after, I think, half year or 1 year, I just opened up one of my archival discs and said, aha, I still have it on my archival disc. And I took it out of the jewel case, and all that came out of it was sparkly dust, because the layer where actually the thing was burnt into was just disintegrating. Very bad build. Anyway, I feel you. Frank says, sounds are very much part of these things. See also me being reminded of cassette loading sounds by an MRI machine the last month. Right, you've mentioned this. Lady Miss Liv says, not many shows I need from my childhood, although I wouldn't mind having Gargoyles and Reboot. Gargoyles, I think even the Gargoyles Quest game on the Game Boy is well. And Gargoyles, the animated series, right? I've never watched it, but I've heard good things about it. And Balimaar says, anyway, I'm off to throw myself into my spa and fall asleep in it. You probably are long gone, Balimaar, but again, thank you for making time for this weirdo in a completely different time zone and for being inconvenienced by it. And again, thank you for submitting your game. It was great fun, and I hope you have a wonderful week. Thank you. Spa, you lucky bass. Thanks for playing, and thank you for the... Yeah, always, anytime. Indoor spa, it's so nice to fall asleep with a nice warm water. Oh, I can only imagine. Never forget, German children will always be the best because they are Kinder, or kind of. Indeed, yeah, Kinder is German for children. And because it sounds like Tinder, then of course we have lots of jokes about this. Frank says, I remember back in the day noticing that PC floppies and Mac floppies sounded different, and then later I got a Mac emulator on my PC, and using floppies with that made the PC floppy drive sound like a Mac, and I found out it was just all about access patterns. And Hexosar says, walk crazy. I never really thought about that, but on one hand, of course, it makes sense, because these things were, it felt like they were super incompatible, like to a point of going out of their way to be incompatible. And big kudos to you for noticing this when you just listen to it. I would have never. Frank says, just Phil doing Phil things indeed. If you do make the game, get the Hoff to voice it. Yeah, I think he's 74 now. So yeah, probably should... It sounds harsh, but probably should get to it. Kirsty says, oh, thorough. And Ghoul Prince is here. Hello, Phil. Hello, chat. And yeah, since Ghoul Prince is here, their game, oh, damn it, what was it? They were making a game, a RPG Maker-like horror game, which is perfectly in time for the spooky season. And full disclosure, I voiced some bits of the narration. It's just a couple of sentences, but it was, again, thank you, Ghoul Prince, for coaching me pronounce all these Finnish words like Pirru. Oh, I love Finnish because it's especially something that has these R's in it. It's just so, I don't know, so visceral. Damn it, what's the game? You probably, please, you have probably already posted a link to it. You're very welcome to post it if you haven't. Okay, Hexto started doing backups since losing or corrupting their first game on a floppy disk. Lady Miss Liv says, I gotta go wake up the hubby. Have a good one. And thank you so much. Have a wonderful week, Lady Miss Liv. And thank you for dropping by. That explains the Kinder surprise we have here. Yeah, we also have Kinder Überraschung, which translates also to Kinder surprise. So yeah, Kinder, we have these Kinder surprise eggs. As you know, we have Kinder chocolate. Yeah, since it's used as a brand. So hopefully this explains it. Pirr und Belto. Thank you. Exactly. That's the thing. Here's the link. And because this is a very horror themed game, I would hope so. I'm looking to play it after the What do we have now? Today is the 19th. Let me quickly check my calendar. So probably maybe next week, I think it's closest to Halloween, or should be played on the 2nd of November, which will be my next Sunday stream, which will be after Halloween, but still kind of, there's probably still some pumpkins around by then. Because again, we love ourselves, our horror games, and I'm easily startled, so this should be hopefully funny to watch. And again, it's I'm doing this out of what's the word, narcissism, because like I said, thank you for letting me voice act in the game. Oh yeah, talking about sounds and sound effects, this is just one thing that, again, that I also wanted regarding to show you regarding this Knight Rider thing, movies and series, Knight Rider. There we go. So I showed you the show stills that I have and the sound effects here, and I have raw sources, and this again are sound effects from that I essentially just ripped. And of course you can they aren't super clean, because of course there's always either someone talking or background noise or sometimes even music. So you know me, and I took the liberty here for the sound effects. Here I filtered and cleaned them as much as I can. So if you want, I don't know, this the kit scanner whoosh sound, or for example the microwave jammer that Kit uses. The funny thing is that the sounds that they made are very simple, usually just sine waves. And so, for example, here the microwave jammer, that's how it looks when it's filtered. And you just heard it, what it sounds like. So, and of course we have, where is the Kit scanner swoosh? Wrong program. And it does look like this. And I tried for hours, and really that's plural and not an exaggeration, to try to somehow recreate this. I even figured out what kind of filter they used back at Universal in those days and found a digital version of it, and which helped me a lot getting closer to it. But yeah, again, it's good old Phil being just way out there. Frank says, some people love their horror games. That is true. Goodprince says, second would work best for me. Okay, the game is not that scary, so it doesn't matter if it's not played in the Halloween month. Okay, so it's a little bit scary. It's folk horror, I would describe it. Okay. Frank says, I don't do horror of any kind, and I completely understand it. On one hand, I think personally, I would love to make a horror game, but never want to play it, because yeah, some people love this thrill of horror games, and for me, it's not this joyful thrill like some people say they have in, I don't know, a spooky carnival ride or something. To me, for some reason, I don't know what it is, but if you're being followed or something, or in those games, or jump scares, I cannot have them. I get super stressed out, and it's not this delightful thrill, but it's really, it feels like, okay, I'm gonna die here probably. And yeah, I even have nightmares of those kinds of games. So people always suggested, you know what, you should play and try Slender, the 8 Pages, or FNAF, the Five Nights at Freddy's. And I cannot, just looking at playthroughs, my heart starts racing. I cannot do this. But on the other hand, I like the genre very much, and I always want to make horror games, but again, I would never be able to play them myself. I know it's kind of goofy, but yeah. And no, there's a good prince. Also, thanks for letting me advertise a bit. Yeah, of course. If any, again, this is a what's the word? Not a funnel for indie games, but if you have anything to promote any of your games, please drop them in the chat. And it's always good to have new people look at your game and hopefully play it and figure out things that you've never thought that might be an issue. Phil wasn't jump scared by my hydrate. Indeed, I wasn't. Thank you so much for reminding me. I jump scare myself into hydration. That sounds wrong. Yeah, one thing that happened because I was visiting the in-laws with Connie over the weekend, and when we were driving home, and I was a little bit stressed out, and Connie said, you know what, let's I have a soothing playlist on Spotify. Let's just put it on. And she hit play, and it was just the loudest noise I've ever heard. And that screamed my head off for this 1 second until she dialed down the volume. And and it was soothing music. That was but it was so loud, it completely startled me. A good thing that I didn't jerk the wheel or something. So, but again, I had like adrenaline flowing through my veins for 5 minutes or something, and we figured out how is this possible? Was this an update? Was something there? No one of either of us remembers using the dial. Turns out that the day before, Connie was listening to a voice message of some of her friends on WhatsApp, and it went through the speakers, and the voice message was so quiet, so she had to dial it up all the way and forgot about this. So yeah, this was my jump scare of the week, and this is why I'm still wide awake without any coffee. And, oh yeah, one thing, since we're here on the topic of driving, and I just copied the files. Look at this. This is fall autumn in Austria. Yeah, this is what cows in Austria look like. I always was, when I was a kid, I never understood why do they draw cows in black and white in the children's cartoons. But I realized, yeah, apparently here in Europe we have different cows, or different breed of cows than in America. So our cows are brown and poo caked. Kirsty says cows indeed aren't those the cutest cows, because it's that time of year when the cows usually really they are outdoor on the mountainside all day, all night, all year long. And when winter comes, of course, you have to get your cows off. And this is usually what happens in fall. And there are sometimes big celebrations because it's a very traditional thing. And the cows, they sometimes make like little crowns of flowers for the cows. And all the people are cheering when the cows come home from the mountains. It's kind of endearing. Nothing like this did happen here, but we've had this multiple times. And yeah, this again, fall driving in Austria, or in this case, there was a leg of our journey that led us through Germany. And of course, it's again just across the border. Look at this. Isn't this beautiful? A Gold Prince says, I once, when my mom was driving me to somewhere, sneezed suddenly and she got her biggest jump scare. Yeah, I'm also startled by people sneezing, especially when no one's talking and it's kind of quiet and I don't hear them inhale before the sneeze. Also jump scares. So yeah, same page. So cows are cute, right? Cows are, I think we can agree on this. So anything else? Oh yeah, this is the town of, what's it called? Aschau. And it's a little bit, I would say, secluded somehow. I mean, it's not that secluded because it's a major tourist attraction, because you can go hiking and skiing in the winter. And when I skip ahead, you probably know why, or you can see for yourself why it's. Oh yeah, there is one thing here. There is a cable car. Is it called cable car? It's this little thing here going up and down the mountain if you don't want to hike. And there comes into view this wonderful fortress there. I haven't been up there, but again, it's kind of nice. This is in Europe, the cool thing, especially in Central Europe. There are castles and palaces almost everywhere you go. A gondola. Thank you, Cursibu. That's the thing. A gondola, a fairy tale land. Yeah, and also and there is the castle Neuschwanstein, which was the inspiration for the Disney castle. So Disney castle is just Neuschwanstein scaled up in terms of proportions and fiddly bits to 11, but essentially it looks like a fairy tale castle there. And yeah, the entire town is so neat and tidy. It looks very, I would say, very well put together. And I always love here this old medieval church here, because the windows are just, look at this, the windows are so deep. Yeah, I know why I have my priorities are kind of weird. Oh yeah, look at those beautiful houses there. By the way, those are just murals. Those are paintings. Yeah. Right, nice camera work there, Phil. So this looks like it was really plastered on, but there you can see those are just textures, which I kind of find funny. And yeah, again here, no, this was the wrong one. I love the fall for the colors, and I always enjoy going past this gnarly tree because it's literally gnarly. And when you look past there, and it's this again, it's kind of nice here, I say. A good princess. Oh, that building, I love it. Yeah, and I have this really inspires me because on one hand, I love buildings like these that are so wonderfully well kept in shape, and again, they have so much personality, and there is just so much going on in terms of their flowers and the woodwork there, and it looks a bit like the Riders of Rohan because of all this really handiwork there of artisans, and they still keep this medieval look to it. And of course, I love it also almost maybe a little bit more when you have the same kind of thing, but it's totally decrepit and falling apart. And another spire in Germany, and then there is this inn right in front. And again, they just love the murals there. And I said, yeah, you know what? I'll have the fish because I can see some fish here and some guy with a trident. Yeah, turns out I think those are just the star signs there. But I thought they just advertise what's on the plates there. But again, it's. I thought I'd share this with you since I have it here because it's just so nice driving there in late afternoon and just looking at the changing colors of the trees. Anyway, let's play some more games, right? Oh yeah, cat alert. Here's a cat. Then up here is the next cat. And here's another cat. For some reason, I have this ability to spot cats on meadows, even if they're like 100 yards, 200 yards, sometimes even further away from me. But oncoming traffic, come on, dude, I can't focus on everything. There's a cat at the outcrops of the forest over there. Anyway, I said let's play some games, bump the microphone, and so we shall. Gold Princess, super beautiful, and cats, yes. Again, always have way too many pictures of cats that aren't ours. We don't own any cats, but whenever I come across a little fluff nugget or other fuzzy feline, I just take pictures of them. And the problem is I gave the neighbor's cat one scratchy too many, and now it thinks it can just wait at our door and come in whenever it wants to. And on one hand, of course, it's super cute. I love this cat, and I mean, just look at this. Probably should make it bigger, but anyway, it's the neighbor's cat, and I have more pictures of the neighbor's cat than probably the neighbors have of their own cat. Cats in an autumn meadow, amazing. Thank you, Cursey Boom. And I said let's play some games, and finally we shall, if I bring back up the RNG 3000. Thank you for indulging me in my those are things that I do when I think I relax, which is take screenshots, hundreds, probably thousands of screens. Now it's 830 something screenshots of Knight Rider and just filming while driving because it's just so beautiful. I have to show it to everyone. That can't be that hard, right? It's always, I mean, I think it's a good RNG. There we go. It's a good RNG in a sense that it never does the thing that you think it should be doing. So it feels very random. Finally, Deep Space Lawn Mowing, by the way, great title, by Tano Collective, submitted to Stream by Hex to start. And he says, take the jump upgrade early. Okay, good to know. It really makes a difference. Maybe we should have made it unlocked from the start. Also, late game balance is a bit broken in terms of the amount of grass you have to collect for next upgrade, so feel free to skip the grind at this point and have fun. Thank you so much. And the Automated Unicorn, thank you, Automated Unicorn, for posting it to the chat. So, very, very nice visuals. This looks like my first impression of this is, oh my god, is this Rocket League with lawnmowers. The worst enemy of a lawnmower, obviously an unexpected, ordinary rock. But what about a space lawnmower? Well, that would be a space rock. Wait, did we just move? Okay then. Are we in space right now? I think Florian from the DOS game club said, technically, if the game is not very abstract, every game is a space game. So, Deep Space Lawn Mowing is an action game about collecting grass in space. Grass is an extremely rare and valuable resource that far into the void, and selling it can fund numerous upgrades for your lawnmower. It's a dangerous line of work, but if you won't manage to keep it going for long, you can at least share your yield with fellow lawnmower operators on the global leaderboard. That's nice. Frank said, you were randomly chosen. Congratulations. Yeah, you were randomly chosen, like certain people are randomly chosen at TSA checkpoints, right? So randomly, again, the brown person with a turban has been chosen for a random checkup. Oh dear. Can you discover an upgrade strategy to make you into a galactic grass leader? Whatever this is, I'm here for it. Only one way to find out. If your score fails to upload for some reason, just post it in the comments and we'll add it manually. Oh, that's very nice. And also the graphics. I'm a sucker for glow effects, so this already looks very appealing. Controls WASD or arrow keys movement. The game also supports gamepads. Wonderful, but it doesn't display gamepad input prompts. Okay. Left stick movement, right trick extend, button east. This makes so much sense to calling it east, west, and south because, as we all know, the joke goes, the X button, no matter, it's never in the same position. No matter if you're on Switch, PlayStation, or what's the other one? The Microsoft one. The Microsoft box, let's call it. It's always in a different place. Okay, so east, absorb, shred, and jump. Jump is A, west, shred. Okay, I think I can figure this out. I should figure this out, and if not, you will remind me, hopefully. Ooh, upgrades. Reminds me a little bit of Vampire Survivors. It's so also from a visual perspective, it's all very pleasant and very polished looking already. Created by Sushi, Ig, Kusi, and Hex. By the way, this reads a little bit like the credits in old 8-bit games where they weren't allowed to put their real names there. So everyone just used their handle, so to speak. And as a kid, the few games that I managed to get to the credits, I always thought, my God, Japanese people, they have the weirdest names. Together we create Tano Collective. So let's give a shout out to Tano Collective then. They're on Twitch. This is Itch, not Twitch. This is very nice. And you can play them all in a browser. That's also very helpful. Original music and sound by Hex, who is our current representative in the chat. All credits are listed inside the game's credits widget. So I think I will get the Windows version because, as we all know, sometimes with the HTML5 versions, especially with Unity, there are always certain things that can go awry. So this is why I always prefer the Windows version. And it's just 56 megabytes or something compressed, which also is, again, very light. And yes, it's a Unity game. So what else have I missed? Hexazard says, what can I say? I'm a lucky boy. And indeed you are. And Kersey recently learned that they call it a space heater, not because it's futuristic looking, but because it heats spaces. Space heater. What is space heater? Oh, yeah, now I get it. I was thinking about spaceships or something. Oh, of course, it's a space heater because it heats spaces. It makes sense. Like every heater heats space. Exactly, right? That's the thing. If it doesn't heat space, then is it then a point heater? That's physically impossible. Okay, Win version is slightly better, I guess. Okay, good then. And only learned that in Oxygen Not Included, the space heater. Okay, so then there is music to my ears, and I make the sound a bit louder then. Let me know if the audio is too quiet. Oh, that's cute. That's very cute. So I'm hearing music. Do you hear music? Make it a bit louder now. Oh, this is very slick that you have here your own games there inside the Game Jam game. It's like, yeah, if you like what we did here, just click here and you get some more. Okay, so this is already very polished. Okay, sounds good. Again, you have settings and camera shake. Yeah, let's keep it as it is. Let's see what the leaderboard says. Oh my god, Lousy Cheeto is 101,000 points. Or is it in hex? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Is it 65 points? In hex it's just 65. Let's see. I'm not quite sure if I can get to the top 100, but let's try to make the top 40 then. Mr. Unicorn, this could be me. Very cool, very slick. And Kersey agrees, nice title screen. Indeed. So yeah, let's just begin, and I completely forgot which upgrade I should get first, if you can remind me. Okay, so again, it feels very polished from a control sense. Okay, those are rocks in space. We don't want the rocks. And it's cool, by the way, as a design thing, because in the tall grass you can't see the rocks that easily. Okay, go for sharper blades and then jump. And so I shall. Oh no, what is the rock? How can I dash? I cannot dash. Oh no, it's... Help! Help! Okay, this makes it a bit easier. Then range collector, blade extender, credits, increased durability. So jump motor. Yes, I can afford this. And then whatever sounds fun. Good. Okay, jumping looks like it's really doing something for me. Oh no! That's the hardest part, right? That rocks follow you around. But this is very polished. Also, the controls feel nice. So, what do I want? Shred mode. Oh, there's tooltips. Allows hitting rocks without losing durability for a short amount of time. Crushing blades doubles damage to rocks, increased durability. I mean, my health is kind of okay. Should I repair or should I just sharper blades? You know what? I will go for even sharper blades then. Because then I can maximize my output. Or at least my yield, I think that's the word. Okay, staying clear of these rocks here. Yeah, the homing rocks, those are really unusual. One question, I can see the rocks casting shadows. Are they projecting straight downwards so that when you see a shadow popping up, it's like a telegraph of where a rock is going to land? Or not? Okay then, let's go for the... I mean, I got 10 credits. Should I save things up? Blades, extender, collector range. Crushing blades, but I think I first need to have the shred mode, which I don't have enough money for. You know what? I will just continue and save some money. Oh no! Oh dear. I've heard that it's not really that bad to your lawnmower if you hit a rock, but it's not good either. But for some reason, I think then why do people tell me then it's not too bad if it's still somehow bad? Okay, jumping is really helpful to get out of certain pickles. But yeah, this lawn mowing, oh dear. Mechanics, they're somewhat like a power wash simulator, like soothing to the mind. Okay, shadows are not exactly straight down, but probably should be. Yeah, this the good old 3D jump and run convention of doing this, because it would make it a little bit easier to see where they land. But so far, I mean, I don't have any problems with it just yet. Okay, so we can the shred mode. So which one was the shred mode? There we go. Okay, and I have the cooldown at the bottom. Okay, good. And it even gives me a pop-up. That's very nice. Thank you, game. This is super handy. Especially with things where, as a player, you're very focused on a certain portion of the screen, like I'm here trying to evade the stones. It never hurts to have more information of what is happening, especially with things like, okay, now I can be hurt again. Maybe I should increase the collector range next, then But the grass has been growing quite quickly here. But it feels very satisfying just plowing through the field and just collecting up as much as I can. Oh, good. Yeah, the jump is super handy. Also, the timer is kind of okay on the jump. So it's not something that you can just constantly spam, which again is good. Do I get any points when I destroy rocks? Or is it just as a means of self-defense? Okay, there's some grass still lying there. So I'm getting closer to my next level up. But yeah, what you meant that it gets a little bit grindy. From what I can tell now, I agree. But then again, I'm used to Vampire Survivors where it's like every, I don't know, 10 seconds I get an upgrade. So range collector. Spare blade. If the blade is destroyed, is replaced by just once. Allows to collect all cut grass from the field with a long use cooldown. You know what? This would be maybe handy. Increased durability. Or crushing, you know what, I will go for the crushing blades and the mass absorb. There we go. There we go, take that. Oh yes. This is always nice when, oh no, shredding disengage. It's this Pac-Man moment when suddenly you become the hunter. There we go. Oh, this is so good when this happens. Also in Vampire Survivors, when everything that you collected... Oh no, I didn't see that one and probably should have not jumped before. Slurp. Okay, no points for destroying rocks, but it helps in emergencies. I can see one such emergency approaching from the north. So the absorb cooldown is very long, but I think it should be fine. Because, I mean, it's not like that I'm not collecting while I'm just moving around. Okay, good. Did I use my jump prematurely? Yes! Okay, how does my health look like? Yeah, maybe at some point I should perhaps invest in health. But I'm close to shred again. Where I think, yeah, the cooldown is already has cooled off. So come here, you. So, and now shredding disengaged, run. No. Okay, 35. What is it with these space rocks? What do they have against my poor lawnmower? Oh, I can absorb. That's good. That should help me a little bit get closer to the next upgrade. Yeah, space grass is very tall. Gets quickly very tall. So essentially I have the same path as your run-of-the-mill Roomba. It feels like absolutely random what's going on there. Oh no, oh no. Okay, good. So let's see, I think I should go up to 20,000 collected grass blades. Or what the counter indicates. Oh, Shitty Sushi is here. Hello, welcome. Wonderful, wonderful nickname. Okay, what should I go for? Shred mode, spare blade. I said repair for 2. And that's probably, yeah, what I should have been doing. But okay, now we can keep going. And again, I took some more damage. Yeah, the tall grass is really perilous because you only see the big rocks. And again, I think it was a good design decision to really have them glow for precisely this. So I think I bought myself some time here. For the shredding mode, another way of making it even more, I don't know, obvious to the player what is happening, my design idea would have to change maybe the color of the blades, because now they are just this white circle going around, and when you're in the shredding mode, maybe that it changes to red or something, that it's really exactly what I'm looking at, that I can see for how long this shredding mode goes, and maybe then it contracts or something into the center. Oh dear, oh no, this was bad, this was bad. All the money that I spent repairing myself for naught. Oh dear. Okay, it might be a bit grindy indeed, because now with 22,000, but I think should I go for another upgrade then? What would you suggest is the next, or perhaps the final upgrade? Oh, you know what? I can shred. There are many rocks here. Oh dear. Shredding disengaged. Okay, good to know. Oh dear, oh dear. At this point, it's not so much about being very structured about mowing the lawn. It's more about escaping certain death. And of course, always be moving. This is also important. But also, again, the game is very polished and it runs super smooth. The graphics are very appealing. And also, I like the amount of detail in everything. This is the high definition render target, right? Because the glows look just so juicy. I mean, who's growing this patch of land in space? Probably someone having a mini golf course. But hey, wait a second. On mini golf courses, I don't think there is actual grass. At least the ones that I know are just plain concrete. Okay, then let's see if we can get some of those problematic things away. Oh no, shredding disengaged. Okay, we're hitting 30,000. Okay, good. Mini golf on concrete, not fake grass. Yeah, here in Austria, the mini golf courses, and also in Germany, the ones that I've been to, really, they are just poured concrete. And most of them are from the 70s. They all have mostly the same layouts, and also the concrete is sometimes cracked in places or slanted towards something. It really feels I mean, it's different, of course, when you're a kid and you're out camping with a family, and then you get as a treat to play mini golf, and you're just happy, I don't know, to whack a ball with a driver or a putter. I think that's what it is. But again, if you try to be a little bit more, I would say, tactical about it, and yeah, the courses, just the poor state of the courses in most of these mini golf things is just the worst. Oh dear, I'm almost done for. I'm almost done for, and I'm not at the highest. But can I? Oh, I'm shredding. I wanted to absorb. So yeah, I'm not taking any chances there. I think one more hit. Yeah, one more hit, and that's it for me. There we go. 300, no, it's not 300, it's 33,878. That's a nice number. I just call myself Pixel Prophecy then. And let's see where I ended up. And look at this, 12th place. You know what? I'm fine. I'm fine with that. And oh, there's sushi. Cool. Nice. Deep Space Lawn Mowing. That also very nice that you found the time to make this nice animated title, because as always, who am I telling that time is always running out in too short. And like these, I like all the little touches, like that this glowing ball inside of it actually is where I'm steering when I'm playing the game. Very cool. Thank you so much for Deep Space Lawn Mowing Simulator. I don't know why I added simulator. So let me catch up on the chat. I'm really sorry that I didn't look at it. Okay, shadows are not exactly straight down. Blue ones are tough, so it didn't break. Yeah, but they do take damage. I've realized, thank you. No points for destroying rocks, but it helps in emergencies. Slurp, by the way. So the goal, as Cursey, is to survive as long as possible. And it's a score attack game. Yeah, good old arcade style games. And Shitty Sushi. Shitty Sushi, I think I've been to that place. A good princess, quick stop tonight here because I need to go already, but have a good stream, and I'll try to get on the leaderboard of this game. Yeah, it has this Power Wash Simulator vibes to it. So maybe a little bit more frantic, because in Power Wash Simulator, it's not like, I don't know, dirt bugs come to haunt you while you just try to, I don't know, power wash a playground or something. Tutvari is here. Hi guys. Hi Tutvari. Hexostart says a temporary radar was on the upgrades that didn't make it in. You managed to get a lot already in there. So I'm very, like I said, I'm very surprised and enjoying the amount of polish and details that there is. Yeah, for sure. They should change color. You know that. Yeah, of course, I know. I mean, of course, I'm the armchair designer now, talking about game jam games that were done with a very strict and very tight deadline. And I'm just saying, you know what would have been nice? A full MMO experience. Just saying, just putting it out there. How hard can it be? Just add multiplayer, dude. Oh God. Hopefully I'm not one of those guys who just say, just add multiplayer. How hard can it be? I just talked with ChatGPT and it already has the code. Come on. Yes, there really are people like this out there. Okay, Tutvari can't stay today, but I thought I should come by and say hello. Always a pleasure, Tutvari. You're probably gone by this point, but maybe if you're watching this in the VOD, I say hello from past Phil to present Tutvari, who is in the future right now. Mind blow. Frank says, hello, Tutvari official, and Hexostart says, all good to call it quits now if you're satisfied. Die to get on the leaderboard, just like in real life. When you die, you get on the leaderboard, and they even etch your name in stone. It's so cool. I balanced the upgrade values right before the deadline and didn't test. That's the thing, right? You just have to go by feel, because testing is the most important part of game dev, I feel. And with game jam games, I think I've never tested my games. Testing means, does the executable file launch? That's testing at least in my game. So all good. I completely understand it. Kersey says 4x longer until you beat the cheater. Did I beat the cheater? Okay, that's URP actually. What? URP? I have no idea. Oh yeah, the unified random pipeline. Okay, thank you. Yeah, that's the thing when I'm catching up with the chat. I hope I can recreate the context. I'm like a graphics pipeline in my head. Mini golf on concrete, not fake grass. Indeed, putter sounds like butter, or putter sounds like butter. Okay, there we go. Because in German, we of course the golf clubs are also we call them, of course, the German names for Holz, wood, and Eisen for iron, but the putter is the same. And I've grown up with everyone around me calling it Putter, so German. Because also there is, by the way, that's one thing with Germans. They like to pronounce foreign names German. For example, there is this brand of, I don't know, dental products, and it's called Colgate. No one calls it Colgate in Germany because it's called Colgate. And even in their own advertising, at some point in the 80s, I think they've just given it up and say, try the newest Colgate, because, yeah. That's a great attempt. Oh, thank you. Congrats on 12th. Nice video game, says Kersey. Yeah, and again, thank you for submitting it. And it was a very polished and pleasant experience, and strangely soothing and stressful at the same time. It's a weird mix. But yeah, I'm a sucker for these kinds of arcadey games that are super easy to pick up. And then it's just, score attack, as you said. The time to make the title was 10 minutes. What? Just, lighting quick acid drop. But hey, it worked. It really worked, and it gave the game such, I don't know, such a different feel in terms of, this is not just, I don't know, a plain color with the title in a fun font. But of course, I see here the background of the playing field. You just move the camera, put the thing there, and have the effect playing. But still, sometimes you don't have to work harder, you have to work smarter. Forgot to check the multiplayer check. Yeah, that's the thing, right? Thanks for playing, says Shitty Sushi. And again, thank you for submitting it. And also, I think I posted the link to your itch. And testing games, you're not making it better, right? Testing means exactly, right? I'm not working on the game, I'm just playing it. I should do something like add this new feature 3 minutes before the deadline. What's the worst that could happen? Okay, a final piece of trivia. Mower's sound was processed recording of my paper shredder. Oh, really? In the end, I always come back to this in SimCity 2000. The sound when you place a power line that's still in the final game is Will Wright going zzz. Really, that's it. And they kept it in because, again, it's super fitting. It works for what it is. And so, as always, it's funny to learn how things came to be and how things ended up, where it's some happy accident and that suddenly becomes iconic at some point. Frank says, of course, with a real arcade game, the upgrades would have been for in-game currency, but the health repair would have been... That's a good point. Indeed. Of course, always make it a quarter eater. I also have a recommendation if you want a very, very well-researched documentary about an old Williams arcade cabinet. If you've heard of it, Sinistar. I've recently come across it, Sinistar YouTube documentary, because it's 2 hours long, a cyber archaeology documentary, and is so very well put together. I just put it here. And it's something. Don't be discouraged by 2 hours and 45 minutes. You don't have to watch it in one sitting. But there's even discussion of the source code at some point and how things came to be, how they came to be. And the good thing is the entire source code somehow survived, and even with comments and everything. And you could figure out from if I can find it, maybe a frame somewhere. Even from the style of the comments, how they looked, where someone was writing all lower caps and someone would always put an asterisk in front of it, so you could really identify the individuals that worked on certain parts of code and yeah, how essentially just piece together how they piece the game together, and then of course the legacy of it and how things went on from there. So yeah, I can highly recommend it if you're into this kind of arcade thing. And from there I learned that the sweet spot is that you allow 2 minutes of playtime for a quarter. And of course, it's super hard to balance things like this because, of course, you don't want to discourage people who just started out with the game, and but also not make it too easy that someone just drops a quarter and blocks the machine for 2 hours because they're just hunting a high score. And I think at least for this game, the easiest way to do this was not adding more enemies or making them stronger. It was just this one I found very elegant way is that you increase the threshold at the points that you have to score until you get a new life, essentially. And once the first one I think was relatively low, so that players always had like 2 lives, at least 2 lives pretty quickly, unless of course they messed up early in the game. And then there was quite a gap until you get your second ship, and then there's a large gap until you get your third ship. So again, to get to this point where you could play for like 5 to 10 minutes, you had to drop so many quarters just to get the skills there. So again, it's a different way of designing games, of course. Found it super interesting. So again, if you have, I don't know, planning a feast where you will be sitting in front of, I don't know, your bowl of food for almost 3 hours and you want something to watch, I can very much highly recommend this one. There's also the podcast of the Game Archive Foundation, also with the creator about this. So yeah, again, recommendation. Right. So I still got about an hour allotted for today. So where is the RNG 3000? Should we play a game of someone who is not present? It feels almost a little bit rude if I would do that. Let's see, has anyone else submitted? So who is possibly present whose game we could play? Apparently no one. So I think, yeah, HoloQuire was a double submission, which they already, Pin Queen was already apologized for. Thanks for the playthrough, says Hex for Start. Much appreciated. Again, thank you so much for submitting and for being here in the chat with us and answering my stupid questions of, oh, hey, dude, what upgrade should I get first? I don't want to think. Yeah, again, thank you for submitting and, yeah, being here and being helpful to me. Cool. So, yeah, then let's just roll for some random person's game. That sounds horrible. Just someone who's not present. It's okay. Chains at the end of the tunnel from Dock Frankenstein. He didn't write anything, but finally I can just say click and then hopefully just post and tweet or toot or fleek or whatever it's called on Blue Sky at them, but it's not working because I'm not signed in here. So there goes that idea. But you know what? I can just copy this and paste it in the browser where I am logged in and tell him, you know what? Hey, I am playing your game right now. Usually this was also automated for Twitter back in the day when Twitter was not shit. Those were the days. So just say, hey, I am playing your game, your LD game right now on stream. And maybe I should drop the link to the stream then. It's Twitch TV without typos, Pixel Prophecy. There we go. So hopefully, let's give Doc a couple more minutes while I look at the LD page. Calling the doc, indeed. I always joke that an apple a day keeps the doctor away if your aim is sufficient. Chains at the end of the tunnel. In a dystopian future where Satan is dead and God has been chained by humans, you embark on an expedition in order to locate the last bits of angel steel that you hope will help you with restoring the old order. Wow, okay, there's a lot of world building in just one sentence. You are equipped with a jailbroken cross. Oh, that's nice. A jailbroken cross. That, unlike a typical cross, allows you to use it without having to pay anyone. The only downside is that it has to be occasionally recharged. Is this an analogy of something? I don't think so. This sounds very made up. Okay, whilst walk around, Q and E to turn the camera. Space is deflect projectiles. Reload, R and F collect demon. Oh, I hope I can remember all this. Okay, devlog. So I originally wanted to create this game in Rust with Bevy, but I ran into a problem while trying to import a physics library and fixing it with my non-existent Rust skills would have taken too long. So I switched to C# and Stride, but that also had issues running on my Linux machine. So in the end I switched engines again to Godot, and this is the result. All assets were created by me. I planned on including something from the internet, but it just sort of came out like that. Even the realistic eyes and teeth you can see on demons from far away are also mine. Animations were the result of me freestyling physics and refusing to learn how to animate in Godot. Always a good thing when you do something out of spite. These animations are created out of spite because I refused to learn how to animate properly. X to Start says, you wouldn't install Linux on a cross. Yeah, exactly. Frank, of course, would, and you know what? Why wouldn't you? You wouldn't download a printer. You wouldn't download a car. Of course I would. I would download everything if I could. By the way, I'm not sure if everyone knows this. The font that was used in this very 90s commercial of you wouldn't steal something from the internet, right? Turns out the font was stolen. It was not the licensed font from the Type Foundry, but of course certain I would say the copycat, the creator of this very lookalike font, of course, had some canary values in there where you could identify their font from the original font. And of course, I found it adds another level of cringe to this thing. So, oh my God, indeed, right? Isn't this funny? So yeah, the font was not licensed. You wouldn't download a font on the internet. Are you mad? Right? So all levels are generated from images where black means wall, blue means light, red means demon, and green means player. Okay, cool. This was also the result of me refusing to learn how scene management works in Godot. That's very cool. All levels are generated from images. It reminds me of when I had the realization in the early 2000s when, oh my God, you can use Microsoft Excel as a level editor, and depending on what you color in certain cells, they would mean, again, essentially you would more or less make a roguelike level in Excel with all keyboard, just the keyboard and the ASCII keys, and then your level code would, I don't know, generate the level out of it. So the other thing, this one is just called EXE, and it has this wonderful name of LD58, and the other is just called Linux. So, let's see here. So I hope I got the Windows version then. I just want to make sure. But yeah, it's the same. It has the same name. So hopefully this should be it. And again, it's a good friend, Godi. Oh, good old run anyway. So I completely forgot. So we collect a demon with R, I think. That's what it was. So where is it? There it is. I'm gonna have to get through this building somehow. Let's see if this jailbroken cross actually works. Press space to deflect demon projectiles. Okay, cool. So, oh wow, that is... Oh dear, I have to get used to when the camera is yawing like this. Oh dear. Frank says, oh right, apologies for not picking a good executable name for our game. Yeah, you shall be forgiven, I think. So okay, this game is really okay. That's kind of creepy. That is really kind of creepy. Oh, you have died. Press return to restart. Okay, good. So now we know what's going on here. And I really like this 1-bit style graphic thing. So, space. You have died. Press return. So, I think it was R that I should have been hitting. Space? No, okay. I have to be very, very specific then. So, yeah. Only 90-degree angles. Oh, damn it. I have to be very... Maybe I shouldn't just walk straight at it.
The shadow. The shadow. The shadow.
The shadow. Oh, Dock Frankenstein is here. Welcome. Thank you for making it on short notice.
The shadow. The shadow. The shadow.
Damn it. And the automated unicorn even pooped the rainbow just looking at my
The shadow. The shadow.
way of doing things. And then, of course, I run out of projectiles. So, okay, R is reloading. So maybe let's try it like this.
Shadow. The shadow. The shadow.
And why am I mean, this is a very simple rhythm. This can't be that hard.
The shadow. The shadow. The shadow.
And damn it, I was too slow. Oh, okay. Please tell me what I'm doing wrong. I don't get it. What? You know what? Maybe I can walk the other way then. What is there? Haha, nothing. And I got sniped in the back. Oh well. Okay, it's just a timing thing. So how often do I have to reflect then?
The shadow. The shadow. The shadow.
Reload.
The shadow. The shadow. The shadow.
Okay, good. There we go. And okay, this is cute. And F to collect. Press return to continue to the next floor. Okay, I have to keep my distance. If I get too close to a demon, it will kill me instantly. Yeah, thank you. I've noticed. Okay. Oh, they're already walked into. Oh yeah, of course. So the game would turn me around then. Or not? It's very interesting with this 90-degree. Oh no, there is a demon. There's a demon right around the corner. How about here? Is there also one right around the corner? Yes. And on this side, okay, there is none.
The shadow. The shadow. The shadow.
Okay, then. I can do this.
The shadow. The shadow.
Yes! Haha! There we go. There we go. By the way, I really like the teeth here. This looks very ominous.
The shadow. The shadow. The shadow.
Oh no! By the way, is there someone here? Okay. No.
The shadow. The shadow. The shadow.
Okay, I'm slightly getting better at this. Okay, then. Okay, maybe I should reload my cross. Good thing we jailbroke it. Okay, quick look here. Okay, looks like no one's here. Oh, there it is. There is someone.
The shadow. The shadow. The shadow.
Reload. Oh, damn it. Where did that one come from? All assets were created by me. The teeth you see from afar are literally... Oh, really? Okay, this is actually a quite hard game. Oh, damn it. Looked into the wrong direction again. So do I have to collect all the demons then? Where? How did... I don't understand how this happened. Is there one from this side? I mean, this one sniped me in the back. Also, this is a bit strangely explained, but if you literally have to keep your distance. If you are too close, you will be killed instantly without a way to deflect anything. Okay, so this was already, I was already too close on this one then.
The shadow. The shadow.
And this was, yeah. Okay, so why am I reloading now?
The shadow. The shadow. The shadow.
Where did... Well, oh, maybe there was another one around the corner then. Could this be the case? Yes, of course.
The shadow. The shadow. The shadow.
Oh, and this was too close, right? Okay. That's hard. That's maybe a bit too hard for me.
The shadow. The shadow. The shadow.
But I really like it that you have the keys that I need to push show right up in the lower corner always. That I'm doing things correctly. That I'm not asking which would be the correct key to press. Okay, when I'm very far away, they don't attack, which is good.
The shadow. The shadow. The shadow.
So, slowly getting the hang of it. Reloading twice, of course. That's what you do. Reloading 3 times. Of course, that's what you do. And there I shouldn't get any closer then, right? Because this is already dangerously close. So, okay, good. Good. So far, so good. Oh, that's, like I said, it's very creepy how these demons look.
The shadow. The shadow. The shadow.
Okay, good. So far. Why am I reloading so many times? So, did I miss something? I think I missed one demon here, right? In this level. I always hit the reload button when I just want to turn. Oh, damn it! Oh, damn it! Oh, damn it! Oh, damn it! Damn it! Okay. Oh, dear. I think I won't try this level again because the camera movement is just... I'm sweating all over because maybe it's with the dinner that I had, not the best way of doing this. But very cool, very interesting way as also because I thought, you know, I could just steer with my mouse, but the 90-degree turn... Again, maybe it's, yeah, I shouldn't be looking at this. Maybe it's the 4K screen. But overall, interesting concept. Just the distance to the enemy. Maybe, as you said, it's probably, I think this is the problem that I had. That at first I thought I need to deflect the projectiles and then, while I'm deflecting, walk up to the demon and collect them somehow. But of course, if I walk too close, then I die. I think, yeah, maybe some kind of feedback would have helped. Okay, I can skip a level with control. Something that I need to change my keyboard layout for. Okay, I wonder how life looked back when you didn't need to pay to recharge a cross. Back when God was still free. But I heard that they had to use as demons. That they had no use, okay. But I heard that they had no use as demons stayed underground. How come now that the devil is dead and humans are in control, there are more unholy things happening? Is this a comment on something? I'm not sure.
The shadow. The shadow. The shadow.
Okay, I'm trying to push through here.
The shadow. The shadow. The shadow.
Oh dear.
The shadow. The shadow.
Yeah, the 90-degree angle turn, that is really
The shadow.
in combination with the camera yawing and bobbing.
Ready unde venisti.
Oh, there is something. I don't see where I'm going. All I see is the glare here of the lights. Okay, so this looks like it's a dead end. And is this where I came from? Yeah, with again, the 90-degree angle turn is throwing me off a little bit. Oh dear. Oh dear. Okay, so where was the first one? Here.
The shadow. The shadow. The shadow.
I'm getting better at this. Not good, but better.
The shadow. Ready unde venisti. The shadow. The shadow. The shadow.
Okay, then.
The shadow. The shadow. The shadow. Ready unde venisti.
So I think what I'm doing is I'm just walking into walls and hoping to come out at some other point. But I think this was a dead end and I'm not seeing anything there. But the good thing is when I'm in complete darkness, I don't see the view bobbing as much. So that's good. Okay, there is... Oh, that's also a dead end that I'm here. Okay, Frank is reminded of 3D Monster Maze. Indeed. Wasn't this the game for the TX81? With a Tyrannosaurus hunting you through a maze? And it was all ASCII graphics, but it was... I think the game was the first example of survival horror, right? Where you had things like, he's seen you and he's hunting for you. Super creepy. For the ZX81, okay, yeah, thank you. Okay, all demons collected, not bad. This must be the last floor. Once I clear it, I should be able to locate the safe. I've gotten so far on only hope. I either find the last bits of angel steel there, or I die. Well, let's say we died pretty before going here. It's difficult to imagine the same thing that was used to enslave God would be here, but what the hell? That's the button that I wanted to hit. Did real priests used to say, what the hell? Well, real priests used to be something proper instead of a title for people that want to overthrow a government. So, what the hell? These priests are gonna say it. Okay, I like this. Okay, let's see if I can... Okay, am I walking into an ambush? Probably am. Okay, no, not yet. But there is one, and am I too close? Yes, I am too close. Okay, so this is a puzzle then, right? Okay, again, I'm too close. So to get to this one, I need to advance from the other side. So, okay, going this direction is instant death, as I've learned. Okay, going here is also bad. Okay, I could just walk past it then. Just run. And I survive, but not this. Okay, good to know. So interestingly, it's an action puzzler, right? Oh, I reloaded instead of turn. Okay. Holy water, man. Thank you. I probably should drink something.
Die Shadow. Die Shadow. Die Shadow.
Reload. Hopefully not die.
Die Shadow. Die Shadow.
Okay, and this cute thing here is not attacking me. Okay, good. So reloading, collecting. Careful. Or had I been here before? Or is there something in my back? No, okay, good. Ah, there we go.
Die Shadow.
Oh, this probably was yeah. Still had one charge on my cross.
Die Shadow. Die Shadow.
Okay, good. Somehow managed to get rid of this one here. That bothered us before. Oh, wasn't I here before? There we had this one. Yes. And I shouldn't be too close to that one. Okay, I thought maybe that I could or somehow end up in his back or something. If I just make a run for it. Or is there some trick to it? Oh, I see it. I see it now. There we go.
Die Shadow. Die Shadow. Die Shadow.
Reload. Okay, let's do this.
Die Shadow. Die Shadow. Die Shadow.
Okay. You have completed all floors. Press return to restart from the first level. Oh, I thought we would get a resolution to the story. Now I was invested. But okay, interestingly I really got used to the movement and the camera, because with all the inertia that's going on there and the few bobbing and the turning in 90-degree steps, it's really not easy on my stomach. But hey, I managed to pull through. Thank you for telling me about the trick of skipping a level. And can I hit escape? No, this is one of the old school games that you have to Alt F4 out. So what else have I missed in the chat? Well, first let's have a sip of water to calm my guts a little bit. Right, so also this is a bit strangely explained, right? Skip a level. The distance thing was sort of added last minute. Without it, the game was pretty dull. But it's a very good mechanic. Again, yeah, of course, you're pressed for time as always. But if it was a little bit more explained somehow why you're dying, again, it makes sense that you have to stay away and you have to wait for them to engage. Because all you do is just reflect. Good questions, as Kursibu. Which one? I lack the context now. Also, fun fact, I couldn't be bothered to learn Blender, so I created procedural models from images. You know what? Whatever works for you. So no judging. And that's actually pretty cool that you say, you know what? Only peasants create polygons by hand. I will have an algorithm do it for me. Yeah, don't forget holy water. There we go. Thank you. Yeah, thank you, Frank, for sharing the Monster Maze link on Wikipedia. Holy water, man! Again, I should drink twice then. You've earned a bullet heaven. Dock Frankenstein says accessibility wasn't a factor under the time limit. Well, on one hand, you made a game that's pretty colorblind friendly. So in that case, I think slight accessibility considerations were there. Also, I switched engines twice during the jam, so I even had less time. Yeah, I've read it. it's kind of impressive that you still managed to get something like this, where you, as you said, used images for the level design. That's like I said, that's on one hand very old school and very nerdy, and I'm here for it. Frank says, I can't think of anyone else who would do that. Switching engines during the jam. Yeah, I wouldn't. Thinking of, had anyone ever done this? Maybe they're here in the room with me, Ashley? No? You? Yeah, me neither, Frank. It's very, very embarrassing if this would have happened to anyone here. And yeah, Hexostar says, that's impressive indeed. Again, if you switch twice during the jam and again have everything procedurally generated, it's very impressive. And by the way, also I like the visuals, because they are so 1-bit-ish, but still have this lighting going on with it, and it has this the world building on top of it. It's interesting because it doesn't feel like, you're just going through a maze, but with this, like I said before you were here, in the first sentence there is already so much world building going on. So that's very, very unusual. I like it. So again, thank you for dropping into the stream short notice so that you could tell me how to skip levels. Cool. So this was Chains at the End of the Tunnel. I had to look it up because I forgot what it was called. So this, I'm still having here Deep Space. So, I mean, one kind of feedback is, see, many people just called it LD58, and it would have been a little bit more helpful if it was called something like Chains at the, I'm wrong keyboard layout, at the end of the tunnel. Or wait a second, is this an acronym? CATEOETT. Cat EOET. Okay, probably not. And what was this one here? Oh, this was Cupcake Collector, right? So just that I can look at this friendly little bean here. Let me rename this so that I know what this is. Cupcake Collector. Why am I using a dot there? I'm on Windows. This throws things off substantially. Thanks for playing. And Frank says, I've complained about that myself, and then I did it myself. Yeah, right. At least we all know how it goes from personal experience. Dock Frankenstein says, sorry, this is the first game I've released with Godot. Congratulations in that case. I have never released a game with Godot. I've only used a capsule collider that I move through the environment and have a script for mouse look. And none of this was coded by myself. I just copy and pasted things together. And then I did essentially the opposite of what you did. Instead of creating everything procedurally, I thought, you know what, it would be nice to make this level, this room in Maya, and then in PlayStation 1 optics and visuals, and then port it over to Blender. And this is what I've been a couple of weeks back. This was my pet project back then, before I started with my DOS game. And yeah, again, for some, you know what stopped me to continue with this? Some things wouldn't cast shadows. And if I imported the same thing in a new scene, it would cast shadows. And there was so much happening in the scene that I didn't understand, all with the PlayStation 1 shader and graphics, so on. So I thought probably it has something to do with that. I'm not going to bother with that. So yeah, congratulations that you finished something with Godot after switching engines twice during a jam and working with procedural level design. That's very impressive. Congratulations. Yeah, as for the DOS game, I can show you my current state of affairs. And I've hit a slight brick wall. I mean, I can, you know what, let me just show you what I got so far. And as always, I'm still developing games like I did when I was 12, which means that I start with what do you see first when you start a game? Well, you see the title screen. So that's the thing that I start out with, is making a nice title screen. So again, this is Pascal running, and here we have the Knight Rider title screen, and when you click, it has this little effect there, and starting game. This is just text, it doesn't do anything, but I can pause the music playback whenever I want. And yeah, when I hit space, I have this EGA fade in and fade out effect. So yeah, a lot of programming on this DOS game was just coming up with the engine to actually put pixels on the screen and handle animations as with the Knight Rider title. So I thought, you know what would be nice, apart from pixeling nice EGA graphics, to have an actual game, right? I mean, after all, for December, just have something that's playable. And oh, I just realized that if I zoom in, you can see here that this little sparkle effect is behind the text because, of course, it gets rendered after this. Anyway, so this is what I currently have, and I thought I want to implement some sort of very minimalist first-person driving, and doing this in DOS here with my multiple layers of abstraction for this DOS engine that is like a Game Maker, very, very archaic version of Game Maker, where I have game objects and they have sprites. And of course, it's probably, I always joke that the game probably looks like a game from 1989, but you will probably need a computer from 1999, or if you emulated a computer from 2019 to emulate it properly, because my drawing code, especially for the first person driving thing, might get super slow, because essentially I'm just doing lines and lookups of lines and just shifting depending on where on the road you are. And yeah, this again, something that I haven't coded. I just wrote it down while I couldn't sleep last night. So it was, I think, 1.5 hours of just writing everything down and all the variables that I think I need and the steps necessary. For example, when you have a driving stage, and the stage itself is just a description of, okay, you have a length from the stages, let's say from 0 to 10,000 units, centimeters, whatever, and you can say, okay, at position 28 there is a tree, at position 1826 there is a vehicle on the street blocking the street, for example. And essentially what you would see is the first person view is pretty much fixed, and you only see a sliding window essentially on how far along the track you are, and depending on which position you are, it translates the objects that are at the positions in your window to actual screen coordinates, and depending on where on the road you are, it shifts it left or right. This is, at least in practice, the idea that I'm having. So again, I don't know how or if I will code this up, because just from writing everything down, I realized, oh God, this is probably taking 5 or 6 hours of focused programming just to get something very rudimentary working. So yeah, I'm not quite sure if I managed to make a game out of this for December, but at least I will try. So this is the idea for that. Good stuff, says Hex to start. And Dock Frankenstein says, that looks great. Oh, thank you so much. Kirsty says, oh wow, first person driving. Exactly. I'm not doing polygons or anything. It will be just smoke and mirrors as much as possible. Frank says, it'll be fine, you can optimize it later. And Hexostart says, gotta go, take care y'all. Again, thank you for submitting and for staying in the chat. And yeah, have a wonderful week, and maybe catch you some other time. Bye. It'll be fine, you can optimize it later. Yeah, that is the thing with optimization. While I was writing here my engine, I constantly thought, okay, is it faster to allocate things there on the heap, or probably should I allocate memory and then just use pointers? And then I realized, okay, because with Pascal, when you have something that is on the heap, or when you call a function, and essentially the object you want to use in the function, everything of that gets copied onto the stack, I think, even. And I thought, okay, my objects here, my game objects, are using relatively many variables. So instead of doing that, I allocate memory for it, and then use just pointer that points to another pointer, and that is an array of pointers that also has a buffer where the actual pixels are contained. Of course, this kind of multiple redirections in my drawing routines, for example, I have here, this is called my engine. and it uses the core, the global, the VGA PCX and font. And so this is essentially my Game Maker Lite, and it has pretty much 1,000 lines at this at this point. And there is so much redirection going on. For example, if I want to draw a text somewhere on the screen, as you've seen with the start game, what actually happens is it allocates a block. First, when it loads the font, it's a sprite of a font with all the letters there. Then it slices up the font so that I have every character of the font. When I want to render the font, before I had it that, of course, for every character I would just blit the character onto the background at this position. But of course, this was super slow. So instead, I thought, you know what? I allocate memory for where the text is. Essentially, I make a sprite of the text and write the characters into this sprite. And instead of always creating the text, I just render this sprite until the text is somewhat changed. And this sprite itself sits in what I call a game object, which is just an entity that has a position on screen and a flag for is it visible right now, is it active right now, and what current sprite is it. So for example, when you use now this text object, you make a game object that looks up, okay, what sprite or first I create, as I said, the text by looking at, okay, what is the font? Where are the characters of the font? Then I plot the characters into this virtual buffer, into this sprite. And then whenever I update it, again, the game object plots wherever it is and XY coordinates on the screen, plots these pixels. And again, this is for DOS. So we have multiple layers of redirections. And again, I thought it would be funny if this ran on a 386. It will never run on a 386. If I emulate this on a 486, yeah, let's go here, CPU, emulate CPU speed. Let's go with a 486 DX, 100 megahertz. And you see, and probably hear what is going on here with the animation. I mean, at least the mouse position is somewhat responsive. But yeah, the animation of this Knight Rider title, because this again is an animation where every frame is needs to be plotted onto the screen. I'm using dirty rectangles, like I said, but again, it's, yeah. So I probably, you need to emulate a late Pentium processor just to play a game that looks like ass. Anyway, so this is the idea. Frank says, does this compiler produce 32-bit things, or is it all 16 bits where you have to be careful about segments and performance? It produces, as far as I know, a 32-bit thing. So essentially, this is running in VGA. I just chose to only use the EGA colors. But essentially, I'm not making any use of the advanced VGA features, like, yeah, just 256 colors that there are. So it looks, I mean, when you consider it and say, okay, this is a VGA game, where you can say, okay, probably since it's VGA, it needs a beefier computer. But if it's EGA, again, it's just presented as an EGA game, and I'm not using all the 256 colors. So, and then of course you would think, why is EGA so hard on my emulator or my, yeah, that's the thing. Can you do palette animation for that? Yes, I could. Indeed, I could. At first, the thing now is, I thought it nice that at some point I could say, you know what, I make a high-res version of this game where I'm using 256 colors. But for that, my idea for using palette animation would be that I have a potential animated palette for every EGA color. I mean, we have 16 colors, and if I have 16 colors and 16 by 16 is 256, so I would have, for all the 16 colors, I could have an animation or certain kinds of palette animations that would be 16 frames long. So I made the decision for now not to do this because, of course, with palette animation, it's somewhat hard to set up and to conceptually work with it, because I don't think that in Ace Sprite, I don't think I can preview palette animations. For that, I would need to go to, I don't know, Deluxe Paint and to do the palette animations. But with Deluxe Paint, even in the emulator, I had such a hard time to just get it running and display images correctly there. So this is why I'm using PCX images that are adhering to the PCX standard. But again, I'm using current tools for it. But yes, indeed, doing palette animations always many levels faster than doing actual plotting pixels onto the screen. So right tools, yeah, that's always the thing. So, and my consideration or my reasoning when choosing file formats like the PCX format for images or the VGM format for the music was more or less, how can the tools that I'm used to, which are the closest to the tools that I'm used to, that I can create all the assets. And so far it has been a very good decision, because of course I could come up with my own format that essentially does MIDI, but a bit like the id music format, the IMF. But instead I just went with VGM, essentially stock VGM, so that I know, okay, every program, every tracker that I can outputs VGM music, my game is able to read it, and I don't have to use converters or my own tools or my own, I don't know, compilers, whatever. So I can just stick it in. But of course, this means some overhead for the poor DOS processor. But yeah, the good thing is, again, this is 32 bits in the end. So hopefully I shouldn't worry too much about memory consumption or memory use, because the entire it's called the Go 32 memory extender for open or free Pascal. This does all the segmentation things. So the downside of this is that I'm having is I cannot do my own interrupts, or at least I didn't figure out how I could do these interrupts, because all the pointers would point to different segments, and I get always segmentation failures, and things would just crash because the pointer that is being called or in the interrupt, then of course the processor needs to switch from real mode to protected mode, run the interrupt. Of course, now all the pointers are wrong, that it needs to find the right data and switch back. And I even had half of it written in assembler, but the thing is, it's not working. And this is also why my music implementation is, my music is in the main loop. It's not using interrupts or anything fancy, because I really couldn't get it to work. This was like 2 weeks I tried to get this done, but again, yeah, it's too hard for me. So that is the current state of things. So instead, my idea is just to roll with it and write my horrible unoptimized code. And then when I release the game, or at least the demo, whatever will come of this, I already have a pre-configured DOS box to go along with it, and a README file that says you probably need a very, very beefy PC that the DOS box is running at, I don't know, 500,000 cycles instead of 20,000 or something. So just that this little game that looks like it came out for I don't know, the first 286 computer, that it can run on a modern machine. So again, yeah, this is probably what it will be. But the good thing is that on one hand, it sounds like I'm torturing myself writing code like this. On the other hand, I also said it before in streams, is that I really like, that I feel like I understand most of what is going on. I hand raised every pixel myself that goes onto the screen. It's not like, yeah, I just give it to, I don't know, DirectX, and it somehow will draw this on screen. I don't have to care how it goes, but instead, actually, I know, okay, this is the memory address, and I'm putting a byte there, and I have all written everything that puts actually the bytes there. I have written the handlers for the different fonts and animations, and it feels like I have this architectural concept of what this engine looks like. And of course, that is very cool, that it feels like I understand pretty much everything that's going on about this. Of course, the only downside or the things that I'm missing is some sort of proper debugging. Because in DOSBox X, I can look at the memory and look at the registers and even have breakpoints. But for that kind of low-level debugging, I'm working too high level. I have no idea where in memory all these things are, and I can't even debug my functions in the debugger, because of course the compiler translates them to machine code, and I can't read machine code. So yeah, I'm at some point probably I should have, maybe Pascal was the wrong thing to start with. Maybe I should have started with C and roll my own memory management, and then really jump into the deep end and somehow figure this out. But so far, I mean, I'm pretty proud of myself to having understood most of pointer and pointer arithmetics, and okay, you point at this segment of memory and interpret the first value at this position as a D word and the next value as a I don't know, again 32-bit integer, and the next one is a single byte, and this is a byte that gets looked up in from the palette and which actually will produce the image on screen. Again, it's kind of cool that actually this works. But of course, in the long run, yeah, I'm not making a commercial anything out of this. It's just a toy for myself, and I just want to finish something for December because small announcement. I'm partaking in December as well, and which means in December playing DOS games and maybe even from the DOS game jam that is currently happening, where I want to submit it, whatever comes of it. So yeah. C and Memory Manager. At what point you could just switch to Windows 11, not DOS? Right. Yeah, the good thing is with DOS is that, with Windows, I never know when the operating system is doing something fishy, right? And the good thing is with DOS, it's very much in the background. It just fires some interrupts at some point, but overall, it's not like while I'm doing something, I don't know, Microsoft says it needs to send diagnostics at home or just puts all your threads on hibernation because it needs something very urgently that no one really knows what it is doing. Do CPM instead, says Frank. You know what, that's probably better. CPM, the OG MS-DOS, right? Yeah, at some point, I mean, I can also say, you know what, maybe Pascal was the wrong choice, or it's too easy. Maybe I could use Prolog for this. I mean, there's Borland Turbo Prolog or something out there. So yeah, completely ill-suited for what I'm doing. Again, I'm just trying to make my own game maker thing. But again, having started with Pascal, I wouldn't start over in Pascal again, and instead, do memory management with C. And why am I such a noob like myself who has never really programmed in C is talking about memory management in C? Why would I do this? Because I've read all the good books from Fabien Sanglar about the making of Doom and Wolfenstein. And the good thing is he illustrates and makes everything super well explained. So this is why I thought, you know what, this way of what John Carmack came up with running his own memory management actually makes sense, and I completely understand it conceptually. Probably as soon as I'm doing the implementation, there might be some gray areas, but of course it makes sense where you allocate blocks of memory and have this rover, and then you can mark certain blocks as, okay, this needs to be in memory and this other can be fetched again if need be, and so on and so forth. So I find this very simple and elegant way of doing memory management. And what I'm doing here is I just hope that the compiler, when I say, hey, allocate me this amount of memory and it give me the pointer address, I don't actually know where in memory it sits. I don't know how much memory I have, or when things become problematic, or when I encounter bugs that are caused by running out of memory or getting close to the ceiling or something. Again, I have no idea. So this, again, I will just try to keep working on this as far as it will go. So yeah, my grand idea is to have this fan game, this Knight Rider fan game, a collection of mini games, and in the end, it's just how good you were in the individual games, and this is how the score you get. This would be the idea for it. But yeah, again, we will see if I find the time to do this. Yeah, another update. You know what? I think I'm close to finishing off the stream for today. So this I can switch back to Largeville. Oh yes, Cursey-Boo, by the way, are you still present? Because I wanted to show you something. Frank says the memory allocator in that Pascal runtime is probably not that complicated. Yeah, the only thing is I probably then have to rip open everything again. Okay, Cursey, yes, you're here because you posted in the Discord that there is the Red Bull Tetris challenge going on, and whether I pulled some strings there. And yeah, at Red Bull, I work with Red Bull, and yeah, my colleagues know that I once used to be number 4 in the world in Tetris, and yeah, they've been constantly bugging me to, you know what, you should take part in the Tetris tournament and so on. Yeah, it turns out it's played on the phone. I need a controller. I cannot play this on the phone. So I tried this a couple of times and I thought, you know what, I have no chance in hell that I can play this. But courtesy, this is what I managed to nick at work. This is from my personal stash. I only have a personal stash, come to think of it. There is no official Pixel Prophecy public stash, but yeah, there is this special edition Tetris Red Bull can, and I thought, you know what, I don't drink Red Bull or keep many cans of all the various special editions out there, but you know what, this one maybe I should keep. So yeah, just wanted to show you this because yeah, thank you for thinking of me when you heard Red Bull and Tetris. So yeah, that's Pixel Prophecy. Yeah, hi, it's me. Yes, I was very stoked to learn of it, and then once I tried the app and played Tetris on it, I thought, oh my god, this is horrible, I'm too old for this. Okay, one last thing when it comes to Tetris, because I was watching the stream from the FM4 Spielekammer, as some of you know that I've been sometimes a guest there. And yeah, this week they were also about everything Tetris, and they also had the second finalist of the Red Bull Tetris challenge there from Austria, and she also showed some yeah, of course she showed off her Tetris skills, and it's like, yeah, I will probably never get there anymore. But I learned of a wonderful website that is called Nestris, and it looks like this. And I paste the link also there. And if you want to play classic Tetris, you can, let's say, continue as a guest for now. You can play it here in the browser, and everything is super quick and dandy and exactly how you would think Tetris goes. And one thing that you probably notice that is different from other Tetris variants is that you have here the bar on one side. And this actually is a live indication. Oh, I'm using the wrong keyboard layout, just realized. Oh dear, yeah. I'm not good at this Tetris variant, but I played it a lot. And the game actually knows how well your current stack is and how good the placement of the current piece was. So when you fumble one piece, it gets red, and if you do it correctly, it gets green. And the higher the bar is, the better your current game currently is. So this is probably why my one that it's very bad with yeah, again, my keyboard layout. I cannot rotate the pieces in the other direction. So again, this is more or less for people who want to learn or practice the Tetris skills. And the cool thing is, if you're into this, there are puzzles. And the puzzles mean, okay, find the best place to put the two given pieces. So, and of course, there's a timer down there. So where would you put these pieces? And in my case here, it was incorrect. I should have put the eye piece there. And with some puzzles, of course, it's super easy, like this one. This was correct. And you can collect points by this, and again, everything is super gamified. And yeah, if you have a somewhat soft spot for Tetris, this might be really something that I can recommend, because it's a bit like Sudoku, just for Tetris players. Yeah, it's just something that I found out. And again, the only thing that I'm a little bit what I'm struggling with, as you've noticed, is that I keep rotating the pieces incorrectly, because the Tetris variants that I'm used to rotate their pieces or certain pieces differently. And I played this for an hour or two, and I can't rewire my brain for this. Anyway, thought they gamified a game, says Frank. Exactly. Yeah, it's all the bars and little challenges and high scores and achievements that you get on top of playing the game. I think this is the modern way of doing games. It's just like gamifying it to the next power, right? It's game power of game, essentially. So you play the game and unlock certain, like I said, certain XP. And once you've leveled up to a certain level of experience, on this website, then you are allowed to play ranked matches and so on and so forth. So yeah, again, if any of you are into this, I can recommend nestris.org. Anyway, so and I think with that I have everything wrapped up so far, and my voice is slowly vanishing, so I think for that I will call it a day. Yeah, the next stream is going to be on, I think, on Saturday. Yes, today is Sunday, so the next stream is on Saturday. Again, more Ludum games, and yeah, then we will see. Maybe I get something more to show with my DOS game, but again, yeah. Yeah, the one last update with me is that if you remember, I said that I was in the talks with my employer to switch from a 5-day week to a 4-day week. Yeah, it didn't pan out. Corporate is not doing this, and there's some scary restructuring going on, and where they're going to lay off 60 people, and I've already. So it feels like a little bit like Starship Troopers, where the people are just going after the bugs, and left and right your squad mates are being wiped out, and you go, oh my god, I hope I can manage and run without being laid off. So yeah, it's a bit scary time. So in that case, I don't want to cause too much of let's say a commotion about having a very special treatment to get my 4-day week. So yeah, hopefully I can do more remote work from home, so at least this should save me some time. But yeah, for the time being, I'm afraid that I don't get more time to work on my personal stuff. Yeah, Curses has layoffs. Yeah, everyone, it's crazy. It's in all the industries. It feels like there are layoffs being happening. And for the reason is everyone is doing restructuring because it feels like everyone is struggling. And yeah, again, it feels like to me, from my very layman's perspective of global economy, it feels like we're teetering on the edge of some bubble. Because as you know, with all the AI companies, trillions of dollars, and the math just doesn't add up. They are all overvalued, and it feels like the entire American economy is on this very one pillar that is AI, that is fueling everything right now. And if this bubble bursts, everything will really go down with lots of tears and horrible things happening, because there is no growth otherwise apart from AI currently. And every industry feels this and needs to adjust and try to cut costs wherever it can, because all the money, it feels like, is concentrated already at certain levels. And it's, yeah, the question is, if it crashes, where will the money end up, or if we will ever see any of this? Yeah, so currently this is the happy lookout that I'm currently thinking of. Anyway, Frank says, try again in 6 months. Yeah, that's the thing. Probably I just need to wait it out, see how. You never know what things are in half a year exactly, Frank. So maybe there's a different person in charge, and then yeah, things might look different. Anyway, I just as I always say, I keep hoping for the best but expecting the worst. Chris says, jobs in the US are a bad spot. Sorry to hear Europe too. Yeah, it feels like everywhere, essentially. So yeah, with AI, you know, the companies who said, yeah, we lay everyone in, I don't know, customer service off because AI can do the job. And of course, they do not know yet that AI cannot do the job. It's just that their executives have been, I don't know, blinded by all this hype and craziness for AI. It's like with the metaverse. Anyone remembers the metaverse? Exactly, you don't. For good reason. And it's the same thing with AI, but just it feels like everyone is buying into it, especially at the higher, more corporate levels it goes, the more overhyped and overvalued AI is. So my assumption is that, of course, many corporations will somehow realize that, okay, what all they've promised us that AI will do for us, they will never get there, or at least not in the time frame that they have been constantly telling us they would get there. Yeah, in 2 years, ChatGPT will I don't know, run governments everywhere, right? Probably not going to happen. And at this point, when they realize, okay, that we can still operate as the business that we are and don't have to, I don't know, run ourselves further into the ground, we need to rehire actual human people with natural intelligence. The downside is, of course, you have to survive somehow until this turnaround comes, and I think it's probably going to be 2 years or something, which is a long time to just have to wait it out for the economy to topple over. My God, has gone dark pretty quickly at the end of a somewhat lighthearted stream about playing games. Yeah, but it feels like it's on everyone's mind right now. No matter who you ask. I had this class reunion, and of course, topics number one were jobs that everyone is struggling, and AI. It's everywhere. Frank says, I'm going to get into the business of selling LLM models as NFTs. You know what, Frank? You always need to find the greater fool, and if you can convince, I don't know, IBM or Nvidia, yeah, go for it. I want to say, yeah, that sounds like a joke, but you know what's probably someone is pitching this right now to someone. So we're selling LLMs models as NFTs, and we do it through the metaverse, and everything will be paid for with crypto. And I can already see some investors gushing over this idea. Oh God. Bump up your Patreon once you are a billionaire. Of course, definitely. Yeah, I will note this down with my golden fountain pen then. Frank says, I'll finance your ALD42 postmortem and everything. Oh, in that case, yeah, I will. I will say thank you so much because I think you already have directed some of my films. Was it The Theme Always Sucks? Weren't you the director of this one, or of Compilers Delicious but Deadly? So yeah, of course I take it. Thank you already. Thank you very much. And yes, please. And good thing, there's not a lot to fund with LD42. All I need is time. Well, and money, because then I can pay people to do some rotoscoping for me and maybe some modeling. Anyway, yeah, probably that would be. Yeah. If you have money to spare, I take it. Compilers Delicious but Deadly. It's such a stupid title. I don't know. I just needed a silly sounding title for the joke, and all I could come up with was Compilers Delicious but Deadly, which doesn't make any sense. Compilers doesn't sound like something that you would eat. Anyway, I'm getting. I mean, we're already on so many tangents, and if you go off a tangent on a tangent of a tangent, at some point maybe you come around again. And this is hopefully where we are, where I say, everyone, thank you for submitting your LD 58 games. At this point, I have to look over there is my cheat sheet. Ludum 58 games. And hopefully I see you next week. Until then, please have a wonderful week. And be safe out there. Stay safe, and do whatever you can to avoid the king, the little sad boy who thinks of himself as a king, and just find ways of trying to contain the damage. Anyway, on that happy note, I say thank you, everyone. Have a wonderful week, and see you on, what's the day? Saturday. That's the name of this day. Thank you so much. Bye.